minute, fellas. Look here. Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Trejo, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the power band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, the Wolverine, along with my super companions, Jarhigo.
Hey.
And C-Lab forever.
What's up?
And with us today, we've got special guest, all the way from the moons of Endor, Umba.
Yep.
Street tacos.
Also known as street tacos.
Or trash tacos.
Also known as Umberto. From the excellent YouTube show, Tales from the Table. Please welcome Umba.
How are you guys? Thank you. I'm pleased to be on the show.
Good to have you,
We're
dude.
pleased to have you.
Yeah, it's good to have you finally.
One of the first friends of our show.
Exactly.
Indeed.
It would also be a pleasure to be invited next time to talk about something I liked.
No.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Fucking bring in the salt.
Hey. Dude, bring a big jar of salt from the get-go. Okay, so welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the, the Book of Boba Fett, which is a sort of addendum to The Mandalorian, loved by some, hated by few. So let's start the show. High level.
High level. Umberto didn't like it. That's all right.
We gathered.
I dug it. I mean, like, I think one of the key reasons that I wanted you on the show, Umbo, was because I kept getting these messages from you before I'd started watching it about how much you fucking hated it, and it really helped me like it more. Because, you know, when someone sets your expectations low and then you watch, you're like, oh, it was all right.
Absolutely. Which means you owe me one.
I do.
That's what this means.
Yeah.
You do. Which means you need to go and see Batman before I do.
That's it. So I dug it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
Like, it wasn't as good as Mando by any means. I think, you know, many of the people in the universe out there seem to think that the show was only good when Mando was on the screen, which I get it. But at the same time, I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it was a reasonable attempt to take a beloved character and add a story to it. It was certainly better than some other attempts. I don't think they hit it out of the park. I decided early on that I kind of was just like going to have fun rather than be a grumpy fuck about it. And I wanted you to be a grumpy fuck on the show. So here we are.
There you go.
Yeah, I know. And I know that you wanted to do this as soon as possible so that the saltiness would be present, like I said.
And fresh.
In a private private conversation. I am not salty anymore. However, I am brined.
Oh,
There you go.
Wait a second. I was upset because I was disappointed and I walked in warm. You know, I wish Mando could have given me the option of going in cold, but giggity, that didn't happen. So I enjoyed the show, actually, but not as much as I should have. And there's an ensemble of reasons why, which we are going to explore together, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I was really upset
Yep.
with the first episode because the pacing was a disaster. And when the name came up of the person that directed it, I doubled down on how much I was disappointed.
Betty, you want to go next?
Sure.
Sure.
Overall, I enjoyed it.
Yes.
There are a few things that, just like details, really, that bothered me. Like, I really didn't like the mod space scooter gang.
The Vespers from Mos Espa.
It just kind of threw me. Like, I was like, really? They're okay. Look at all those mirrors. Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was like another scene where like they had like Boston robotics spot dogs like dressed up and like running down the street. That kind of bothered me. Like one of the dudes in the cantina was actually playing what looked like a crazy like, you know, sci-fi guitar kind of a thing, but it's actually a real guitar. That bothered me a little bit. Like there were lots of little details like that kind of like just threw me off. You know, I mean, Mando's new ship with like the fucking air cleaner. Like a chrome air cleaner on the front of it bothered me a little bit. You know, there's a little bit too much of
You didn't like it. You didn't like the Starfighter.
No. I like it. It just bothered me that it had an air cleaner on it. I didn't think it was necessary.
You didn't like the
fully
exposed
hot rod
engine.
it out. You know.
Okay.
I thought there was a little. You know, I really liked. I liked Space Mechanic Lady in the first one.
Yeah.
There was a little too much use of her in this. I think. Like, you know, I don't know if we needed that much comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
So. Basically, other than all of that stuff, I really enjoyed it.
And to be fair, like a lot of that stuff is kind of window dressing. So like the core of it sounds like you enjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I think Ben took it for what it is.
That's
like,
it. That's
it. You guys probably all took it for what it is. And I probably overreacted. But this was nothing compared to House of Gucci, which I watched right at the end of this. That was bad to the point that it made this look better, to be honest.
Okay.
And that's another discussion. But there was just as much of a disappointment because it came from Ridley Scott. And here the disappointment was about the element of doctrine.
Yeah.
I discussed with Chad briefly. I know that sounds like a big word, but it isn't. It's applicable here. It's applicable here. And that's simply because these people have a responsibility. I think they do. They have a responsibility towards us. They really do. Wow. You know, I'm sorry, but if you made millions and millions and millions of dollars out of the people that basically got attached to this universe, this world that you created, a picture of you eating food in a food court and being sad about it, even if you have millions, is not enough. It's not enough as payment. It really isn't. I'm talking about Lucas eating his food alone in the food court. That photo is not enough of a punishment. Right. It really isn't.
Right.
So I'm just saying that perhaps the bar was raised a lot with Mando. It really was. There was something really special. And I think
they picked the bar off the floor with Mando.
It did. It was for us. It was for the older fans.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's all. So yeah, I should have taken it for what it was, really. Just a TV show.
Where did you end up, Kev?
We can get into the psychology of your psychosis in a little bit, but we want to get back to that because that's important for sure.
Okay.
All right, let me start by saying that I was a little meh on it, and then when Benny mentioned last week that this was meant to be like an offshoot or an addendum to the Mando series, that framed it in my head in a different way. So before he said that, I had watched it all the way through, and I watched it again. So I watched the whole thing twice. Saying that it was an adjunct to Mando made it different for me in my head. I still thought the writing was a little thin. It definitely had some strong points. I really love the Tuscan Raiders story and the crawling out of the Sarlacc pit. Like, that was my favorite thing, I think.
Yeah, it's episode 4.
And then there was a lot of garbage in the middle. Not garbage, that's a little harsh, but there was a lot of, dead weight in the middle. And then, it really kind of picked up again at the end. Not just because Mando came in, but, like, it was cool seeing everybody, at the end of episode 7, kind of dialing it in. And I realized when I watched episode 7 the first time, I was definitely too tired or noped out because I really enjoyed it when I watched it last night. And I was like, dude, it's a Western, giant monsters versus robots. Like, there was so many cool things going on there, I agree. Like, the cyberpunk bike gang was just like, I don't know, man.
Cyberstar was 2077.
It was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of
it was kind of funny and like cool, and like the actors did it well. Like, it wasn't written well, you know what I mean? And like the design of the bikes was like it didn't match everything around it.
No. To be fair, I was fine. I was fine with the gang. My problem really was with the scooters.
Exactly.
It totally pulled me out of it. I was like, what?
I think because it pulled me out of it. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of the gang was cool. Like, and them kind of working for Boba was cool. I don't think that Mando is such a draw that this wouldn't work. Like, Boba is definitely a draw. And when we saw him in Mando, he was fantastic. And when Rodriguez directed, just to kind of comment on one of your comments on, but that when Rodriguez did episode 4 in season 2 of Mando, it was really, really good. You know, so yes, even more so, I was a little disappointed by the quality in those first 3 episodes that he did. I wouldn't say I'm like a massive fan of his, but I definitely like his stuff for sure. So, yeah, it was a little disappointing, but I mean, I think overall the whole thing was good. I'm glad I watched it again because I definitely had a greater appreciation for it after watching it twice. And I really kind of sat and absorbed it a little bit more the second time. And it was also easier after, you know, Ben had said that it was meant to be like an add-on to the Mando universe. So, you know, that made it cool. I think overall it's good, man. Like, I certainly enjoyed it when I watched it again the second time. Like, no problemo, you know. We can expound from there.
I actually agree with you. I agree with you on that. Like, I enjoyed it on the second viewing more, but I still think that the first 3 episodes are an issue. The first 3 episodes are an issue. And that's the problem, because when you recommend the show, what are you going to say to people? Oh, it will get better by the 4th episode. It's like I don't want to have to do that, you know. And that's the issue here. But the main issue is what I discussed briefly with Chad ahead of this this episode. Because I did say that in the messages as well. Like, what I would have really liked was for Disney to take a chance here, because the main storyline here is about a gang lord taking over a crime syndicate, and yet a rating was important. Let's not forget that. This is like there's parallels to The Godfather Part 2 in this series, man. And they are there. There's like obvious homages. This is a crime story. It's about a bounty hunter who, with enough exposition, develops some kind of scrupulous mind. But it is about a bunch of criminals taking over Jabba's empire. So if you think criminal empire, so if you think about it, they could have banked on it. They could have gone rough and rowdy if they wanted to, because we got Obi-Wan anyway, appealing for, you know, appealing to a younger audience, because Obi-Wan was heavily featured in those 3 prequels. They are beloved by people that are 10 years younger than us, and then you would have had Mando right in between. So it would have covered all bases, and I think there's a missed opportunity here, which, by the way,
agreed.
Credit goes to Bryce Dallas Howard, the director. I remember when you guys covered Mando, one of you guys, or all of you, agreed that our episode was one of the weak ones, and the structure of the episode was very similar to an A-Team episode. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Man, she
Forest
directed
World one.
the 5th episode.
She did a great job this time around, yeah.
She did a great, it's cohesive.
Wait, which one did she do?
5.
The Mando one. That's the one that
Mando
starts with
one?
him with the contract. Yeah, that's Bryce Dallas Howard. And there's an element of, there's an extra humanity, like he's down and out in the episode. He's down and out. He has no connection. He's made to be an apostate, so he disconnects from his surrogate family. He's disconnected from Grogu. He's hurt. There's a bit when he's boarded, he's doing the equivalent of boarding a flight, because he's got no ship either.
Yeah, that was great.
Do you remember? And he's putting all his weapons into a cache, and he's going, I know everything that's going in there. Yeah, and you know, he's in coach. And not only that, the kid turns around and looks at him like, oh shit, you look really cool, you're a hero. And he doesn't respond. However, when he picks up the Naboo starfighter, like the starfighter later, he flies right next to it and nods to the kid. To the same kid. It's like, I'm back, baby. I'm
back, baby.
I don't know. There's something about this character. You can have one hero with a bucket on his head, and if it works, it works. And it didn't have to have 40 years of this sheen that is, again, it's been fetishized over and over and over. They took a chance with a new character. Okay, they took a chance with you know, even whenever this show tugs at your heartstrings, and it does. Man, I'm a grown man like you guys, and the moment he goes, but I came this far to see him, and I can't see him. My partner was sitting next to me, my girlfriend was sitting next to me. I had to go. I was choking.
Yeah, sure.
I was like, oh no, Bucket Man is sad. I'm sad. That's not hard. That's not easy to do. That's hard to do. So I think the crime angle should have been the thing that they should have doubled down with here. And of course, we're not going to get any blood, but whenever the show shows that rough edge, it really shines. Let's talk about Black Santo, the Wookiee without a cause. Let's talk about that guy.
Hold on a second. Like, I want to comment on what you're saying. Like, Now, like, I agree with you, like, because we got that rough edge in the Mando episodes that featured Boba. You know what I mean? Like, in particular in the Rodriguez episode when they're at the, you know, the special temple force site, you know, duking it out with all the stormtroopers when the Razor Crest gets deep sixed. You know, like, he was really brutal and rough. And I agree. Like, if they had gone that route and showed a little bit more of that, I think that would have been better because they reintroduced Boba Fett properly in Mando, you know, and it was great to see him. And everything he did in season 2 of Mando was really tight. But they should have kept that kind of feel going through this one. And as a side note that I most likely will cut out, I just hate Bryce Dallas Howard I just can't stand her. She's such a middling actress. She's such a middling creative person. She's a classic example of, like, my dad got me this job. And yeah, sorry, man. I don't like her. And I thought that episode she did in the first season sucked. And
I did.
I'm so mad that the episode she did in this was good. Because I want her to die in a Sarlacc pit,
dude.
That's rough, dude.
Chad, you're keeping this in, right?
She in the room. Is that too salty? Too soon?
Everything.
Too much?
I'm offended, man.
You're going to jail. You're canceled.
Are you?
You're canceled.
Yeah, we're canceling.
Canceled me? What?
What happened to your flag,
triggered,
man?
dude.
What happened to the flag you had behind you before? Like, your tolerance and everything. It's all gone now. There's a deflated balloon behind you. That's it.
This is good show material, man.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Bryce Dallas Howard. I love that.
No, but you will if you keep the shit in.
I love that you do, though. That's pretty good.
Sorry, man.
Listen, if you don't like it, maybe this will make it better or worse, but there's I think it's on Conan O'Brien or something. Like, you can go on YouTube, type in her name when you have time, and she cries on
She
cue.
cries on command.
Yeah, she cries on command.
Really?
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something really clinical about, obviously, you know, a good actor would do that, but it's just how she really pulls it off really quickly. Yeah. To the point that it's unsettling.
It's like a parlor trick for her. She also has a fucking blood curdling scream. Like,
She does. Yeah.
I love it. I love how salty Kev is about her.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did enjoy her in The Village.
Yeah, same. She's great in The Village.
I thought she was really good in that, but like Jurassic World, all these other things, just no.
Nope.
yeah. I mean, I've liked her in some stuff. I've not been crazy about her in some other stuff. I think possibly she's coming into her own with this directing thing now.
Yeah,
maybe you're right, dude. I mean, I you know.
She was good in, we talked about it the last time I remember, but
Did we?
Black Mirror, that Black Mirror episode.
Oh, yeah, she was
Oh,
good.
yeah. She was
really
shit,
good.
that's
Like
right.
the Social Network. Yeah.
She's the one that wants to be liked, right? That she's on a quest to be liked.
Yeah, the
basically.
first episode of the first
Exactly.
season, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man, it's a great episode. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
That's a good point.
I don't love everything she's done, but I don't have
Well, she was well casted in that as well, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's important, man. I mean, the casting is important because people get miscast. We've encountered that a few times on a few of the things that we've done.
Are we
Shows
going to talk
we've
about
done.
Tamara Morrison being casted in this and why there was no other way out of it? Are we going to talk about Jake the Muss Heke from Once Were Warriors? We're going to talk about the rage within this man.
Yeah, man. That's a great movie.
May I pass something on to Ben? Because I think he should be the one that handles this one, which is the massive T2 homage in the show,
Yeah.
Which is
which is the story of the Night of 1,000 Tears.
Oh, yeah,
In
totally.
the 5th episode, there's a T2.
That was a legit
Massive
T2 thing,
sequence.
yeah.
wait, why was that T2? Because of the explosion?
Because the
and
droids walked in exactly like the opening of T2.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, you're right. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's such a death for me.
Yeah,
wow.
that's a death, bro.
I actually
Sorry.
thought Ben would be pissed off if I took it.
Oh, yeah.
Because
No, not at all, man.
connection to the film. No,
I'm gonna call that Death of 1,000 Tears. That's so
I'm very cordial and accommodating to our guests.
This is true.
always, Benny.
Yeah, I mean, like, I generally understand where you're coming from, with the rating thing and like going for more of an R rating. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I agree, but I totally get the idea. I think like thinking about it more when we were just talking a second ago about the kind of crime lord, crime syndicate stuff. I think one of the, maybe not gripes that I have, but one of the issues that I have is like, I feel like Fett is too honorable in this, and I kind of feel like it would have maybe been a little bit better if it was still kind of not rated R, not super hardcore, but he was a bit more of a prick. Like he was a bit more of a like, he just seems to be like super nice to everybody and wants to be like accepted by the group and really wants to be fucking likable. And
yeah.
I just don't buy it.
It does. And also I didn't particularly like him being referred to as a daimyo all the way through the show. Like it's a feudal lord.
Yeah.
There's a sense of honor, and this is a bounty hunter, an unscrupulous bounty
Yeah,
hunter.
exactly. And so I think there was a bit there that was kind of, I get the daimyo thing, I get the samurai thing, but like it doesn't fit with a bounty hunter. It just, maybe that's the point where I kind of come unstuck.
Or they could have kept that, but added in the rough edge that we spoke about and just kind of reworked it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because they did walk a bit of a fine line there with him wanting to be accepted, but in the sense of, I want to rule with respect. You know what I mean? I just feel like if they had added that rough edge in there, it would have solved a lot of these problems we're already talking about.
Yeah, just maybe he's a little bit more ruthless or something. But
yeah, he was a bit of a pushover.
Yeah, he was.
You would have to gain respect through intimidation, wouldn't you? Like it's.
You got to make one example at least, right? I mean,
yeah,
yeah, dude.
You got to feed somebody to the Rancor, and then nobody's going to fuck with you. You know,
that's
totally.
It just brings back. I mean, maybe it just kind of like connects with Boba Fett, the character, where he was which I just like. I'm totally willing to take a dad joke death on when you mentioned he was fetishized. I spelt that with 2 T's, but I totally agree that he was fetishized. I totally agree that like I worshipped Boba Fett as a character. He was probably my favorite character in all the movies, even though he's fucking says 2 words and falls into a hole in the fucking ground because blind Han Solo smacks him, so
in a goofy way as well.
It's super goofy, super
like
goofy.
Yeah, like slapsticky, like.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's all in my head that he's ruthless, but like he kind of comes off as like a hardcore, no shits given bounty hunter, and then in here he's like, I want to be loved. It's just like, fuck off, dude. Like,
well. If this makes you feel better, Chad, I think, again, like, even if that was the case, like, we saw him being rougher in the Mando season.
That's it, yeah.
So it's all I'm asking is, like, port that same attitude over to this. Like, why they didn't do that is an absolute mystery to me at this point.
Maybe,
well, I think that they didn't get a chance because of all the exposition that we didn't need. Like that fetishism that I was talking about, all this exposition kind of stole from that. There was an element of mystery behind this character, and we really did get a lot of it. I mean, the Tuscan Raiders storyline is pretty cool, but there was too much. There was too much, and it was banged on over and over again. And I just didn't think we needed it. It took away some of the mystique, some of that sheen about the character, and I don't know.
I think maybe the showrunners got a little bit of like a false positive on like the reaction to like, Grogu, Baby Yoda, and sort of the softer aspects of like, no, seriously, the softer aspects of The Mandalorian.
No, I agree with you.
And, because people really responded to it. So I feel like maybe they were, maybe they thought that was more the direction people wanted things to go. And therefore that was sort of what they did here. I mean, ultimately it worked, but I know what you're saying. Like I had the same thought when I was watching it, and it made me sort of have the appetite for like, I'd like to see like an R-rated Star Wars show or film, something that's a little more gritty and like adult oriented, violent. But this wasn't it, so I just kind of went with what it was, I guess.
Yeah. I totally buy what you're saying about that softness potential with, Grogu. And like, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but you've got like a toddler. Okay, the toddler can be soft, and a grown-ass bounty hunter probably shouldn't be, a softie. But maybe they were trying to connect back to the like 10-year-old Boba Fett on that weird ocean fucking dock thing, and Django's, loss of his father kind of stuff. But I kind of feel like it would have been, you could even do that and still just have him hardened as opposed to softened as a result of all of that trauma.
You could have had him devoid of emotion for many reasons. He's a clone, isn't he? So,
well, yeah, but he's an unfettered wit clone. Anybody? Come on, man. That was right there. I could not take it. And I'll gladly throw myself on a laser sword for that shit.
Yeah, man.
All right. It was pretty good, but
love it.
Fuck.
I want there to be a subgenre of the Star Wars death, which is the Boba Fett pun death.
Ooh, I love that. We also got a bro death last week. We got 2 new deaths now, folks.
Are you talking about the banter with his banter?
The banter with what?
The banter with his banter. When it's literally
banter with his bantha?
With his banter. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, you are so dead for that.
Oh, girl.
Jesus Christ.
Go your own way.
I love it.
Hold on, I'm trying to catch up to all these deaths.
Thanks for being my mount.
And that that's your first death, dude. So you should feel good about that.
But I have loads. They're really bad. That's nothing.
Banter
with his banter.
With
banter. Banter. Well.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm sorry.
That's so
excellent.
bad.
I'm very pleased with the amount of deaths we have so far in the show. There's a lot. That's good.
Benny, do you want to thread in the Boba Fett stuff you were talking about a minute ago, like the loving the character when you're young thing?
May I just interject before we get there? Because I had a comment about what you guys were talking about.
Yes.
I think because I know that, or at least I'm pretty sure my memory's right in thinking that Benny was a big fan of the Tuscan Raider sort of side story. And this is mostly to you, Umba, like the Tuscan Raider story is meant to show him and how the path he took to softening up. Again, I'm not saying that it's all right or the presentation was right or that the writing was right, but that was, sort of I don't know if you want to call it the aha moment, but the trial that he goes through that kind of changes him into the person that he is. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. And one episode wasn't going to be enough to do that?
Well, maybe it was. I mean, I was really into the Tuscan story, man. I thought it was great. But we can get to that in a minute after we kind of expound on Boba Fett. I just wanted to throw that out there.
But by softening up, is it kind of like he went from being a loner to enjoying having a bit of a quote unquote family, and then he wanted to build another family? Because that seems to be the thread.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
think so.
Yeah, you can see how he takes them out later on with anger. That's Boba Fett. Like when he's on the slave, when he gets slave 1 again, and it just takes them out ruthlessly.
Yeah,
and it does it in 5 seconds.
Yes,
that's it.
Good point.
All the nitro bite, which by the way they refer to as nitro. I watched it with subtitles because the second time Anna was resting, my partner was resting. They are referred to as speeder bikers, but with subtitles they are referred to as nitro bikers.
Okay,
I don't know. That's the thing that I looked online as well. I couldn't find anything about it.
No, are you sure it wasn't Nikto bikers? Because that's what they called them in another episode.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, Nitro Biker is actually a thing as well.
Mere nerd cred 0.
Are you checking right now?
I don't need to check, dude.
You
just lost it. Because I know that's right.
Nikto.
I'm kidding, dude.
Plaza Verata.
Jimmy Google brings it.
I don't know. It's just that back and forth to the Bacta tank. This back and forth in the same story. And not only that, but the heavy-handed tropes about Leone, that's great. We can do an homage. But man, the bit when he's training the Tuscan Raiders to use speeders, it was horrific to me. that's when I was really upset with the show, because he was trying to be funny, and there's like an analogy for these guys falling off the speeders as his joke's not landing. It was really, really down. Like, I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I'm with that. Hated it.
It's ripped off from every Western when the one guy, the solitary, bounty hunter, whatever, has to
trying to teach the villagers how to ride the horses and shoot the
It's-
guns. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Okay, yeah, I'm with that.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're where I was when I was like super hating on the prequels. I was just like, fuck this, fuck you, fuck everybody, fucking, I hate you, mom, I hate you, dad, fuck all you guys. I'm going to my room,
Right.
I'm turning on my lava lamp and I'm smoking some weed. Fuck you guys.
Under my blacklight poster.
The train robbery episode was probably my favorite.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know, man. I was just along for the ride.
Was it?
I had a good time.
Yeah.
The train
I like
robbery
that
was
too,
cool,
man.
man. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I was so into it. I was tired and I almost didn't watch it. And then I liked it so much, I started watching it again.
It's great.
Like, I wasn't in the mood, and maybe that had something to do with liking it so much.
I think,
But I wasn't in the mood, and it totally fucking won me over. I was just like, I almost stood up and clapped. Like, it
Which
was
episode?
the train thing.
the train robbery episode. Yeah.
Oh my god, the set pieces in that are so mechanical. It's like I've seen it 1,000 times in another film.
But that's why that's why I liked it. I don't know.
It's just the way the action moves in that. It's captivating, but it's so formulaic. It's like it's a proper formula. Even the way it was edited. I remember sending a message to Chad going, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" Yes, of course you've seen it. You've seen it 1,000 times before. But
I know. He was messaging us and telling us how much you were hating on the show, dude. We were laughing
funny,
about it.
Sorry.
You texted us so much with so much hatred. You turned into Emperor Palpatine, and we invited you on the fucking show, bro. You shouldn't be wearing a Batman shirt. You should be wearing a fucking black bathrobe with a fucking hood on it.
Papa Palpatine.
Go for Papa Palpatine. Dude, like, I don't know. I think, like, when the mods came on with their stupid scooters, it was the same thing that you just said, Benny, where you weren't really in the mood for it, and then it won you over. Like, I was watching the episode where the mods came in, and I thought it was so silly and dumb that I was like, obviously they're going for the super fucking cheese dick original Star Wars trilogy. Like, there's some real cheese dick moments.
You gotta be fucking kidding. I live in London. How do you think I felt?
I know. It's like that's where the mods come from. I get it. I was just like, this is so silly.
It's Star Wars. Like,
it was the silliest thing ever, and I was like, all right, cool. This is a silly show. I'm just gonna go along for the ride. This is fucking so dumb.
They should have just gone the whole way and played Pinball Wizard in the background or
exactly.
something when they showed up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Such a supple wrist. Yeah, totally.
Such a supple wrist.
Woo! I don't know. I love it. I love it. I've given up hating on shit. I gave up hating on Expanse. I've given up hating on Star Wars. I just fucking can't hate on shit anymore. So I brought Emperor Palpatine on the show to bring the hatred. Let the hatred flow through you.
No, look, I don't. It comes out a little bit, but I watched it a second time.
Yeah,
it's enjoyable. It's just that it just upsets me a little bit when you see a missed opportunity here, because when you take a gamble, if they took a gamble like they did with Mando, because it was a different type of, but it was, it just didn't feel risky enough, and also. Going back to House of Gucci and what's happening today in general, like, I don't understand why nobody puts their hand up at one point. It's Hollywood, and every production is so sycophantic that nobody puts their hand up and goes, maybe we shouldn't do this, or maybe we should do this. I don't think there's enough of that.
No, there's definitely not enough of that, dude. That is a fact.
You could totally see the world in which they were like, oh, Mando did well, so let's make another one just like it. Make Fett, I could totally see that. Sorry, Benny, what would you say?
I'm putting my hand up right now.
There you go. It's up, dude. He raised it. For all you folks that not with us, we're doing that on Skype because that's how we sort of
because we're fucking
connect
boomers.
this show together.
Because we hate ourselves.
Yes.
I found it. I found the button. Sorry.
Yes, you in the back.
All right, so should we get to this Boba Fett thing? Like, actually talk about Boba Fett?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay, so, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, you know, I have, like, the 12-inch fucking Boba Fett, you know.
Totally.
Like, G.I. Joe size action figure.
Yes.
That was awesome. You could, like...
Totally.
You could actually, like, look through his eye, like...
Yes.
It was cool.
I also had that.
And, like, everybody I knew was like, Boba Fett is fucking awesome. You know, like, we just liked him. I don't know why. Like, he had no dialogue, like, barely any screen presence. We really never even saw him, like, do anything.
Dope ass helmet.
Like, there wasn't, like, Boba Fett was going around kicking ass. So, I don't know. Everybody, I think it was just a cool character design that really resonated with us. And then, you know, in Jedi, he was rather unceremoniously...
Very much so.
Silly? Is that even a word?
Silly?
In a silly, slapsticky manner, was tossed into into the fucking Sarlacc pit. Like, I was surprised there wasn't like a slide whistle, you know, like, when it happened. Like, and none of us were too happy about that. So I thought it might be interesting to talk about that in reference to where they've decided to take the character now, etc.
I like that they resurrected the idea of exploring the character, the beloved character. I don't know. I'd almost argue that just trying to make a show about him was risky enough. Like, it was going to be a real fucking hard thing to pull off, and they did a reasonable job of pulling it off.
Yeah, no, I think they did good because of the way they reintroduced him in Mando. You know what I mean? Like, that helped a lot. True. Like, that was big, you know, because if you know, we talked about with like Solo, you know what I mean? And like you're going back and you're going back to the original story.
Don't forget, honey, here are those sweet brass dice. These legendary dice.
Exactly, man. So we didn't get all that nonsense, you know what I mean? And it's not until after a full, you know, half season of Mando or whatever that we're now we're getting, you know, what happened after the Sarlacc pit and all that stuff. And it's way easier to swallow because we already had the introduction, and the introduction was totally badass. I mean, let's be real, right? That was really dialed in the second season of Mando. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's when he's still very cool, right? Because he does a little thing, a little move, and it's so swift and it's so cunning. And that's what you have in your head. That's a 12-inch figure that you had when you were a kid. It's larger than life. Yeah? It's not the guy that is, I have emotions. That's sorry.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, no.
Where's that ruthlessness? No. Where's that guy? Where's the guy that shoots from the knee? We're going to talk about the guy that shoots from the knee later.
Yeah. To be fair, one of my favorite parts of the last season of Mando was watching Boba Fett beat the fuck out of stormtroopers with a gaffy
Totally,
stick.
That's what I was saying before.
That was incredible.
Not to mention the
for sure
backpack rocket blasting those two ships out of the sky. I was like, "Fuck, that dude's a badass."
Yeah,
I was aiming for the other one. It's like, yeah, whatever, bro. That's still awesome.
And I love how he like took the time to like repaint his armor because it was all beat up in Mando. Like, that was great, man. I was like, when he walked out with that freshly painted armor in Mando, I was like, sweet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of Boba and his freshly painted armor,
it's a great segue.
There's also a dent. There's a dent on his helmet. He just couldn't get rid of.
Yeah, man, the old fabled dent.
Where did that come from? Because I don't remember it being there in Mando. Was that in Mando?
It wasn't, and this is a nugget that's been given to me by the guy, a friend of ours, who's, you know, this is to reconnect to what I was saying earlier, how Star Wars fans that, you know, are really, really into the expanded universe, all of a sudden popped out of every crevice, every part of my life. They just popped out. And one of them is the last person you think he would be. That guy is a part of a duo called Modulate that makes a lot of EBM music, and so he's a so-called rock star. He's a friend of mine, and he's completely obsessed with Boba Fett. He's 47, so he's about our age. However, he's the last person that you expect to go, actually, and it's him. He's a super nerd, and he's the one that told me that that dent on the helmet that he has was given to him by Cad Bane.
It's wild.
That's the rivalry, yeah.
Is that in Rebels or something?
No, I think it's I'm not
happened in
entirely
a
sure.
book or something. Must have.
No, I think it happened in
I
the
don't
animated
recall.
series. Well, it shot him. So Boba Fett gave a dent, or is responsible for the armor that Cad Bane is wearing, and the dent that he has on his helmet was given to him by Cad Bane. So it was like the first face off.
That's the blue alien with the red eyes, Kev.
Yeah, the Levan Cliff.
What's his name?
The Levan Cliff. Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane?
Yeah, Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Bane. Oh, Batman.
Top villain that will be back, because there's no way they're not bringing this back. He just didn't get enough screen time. He was phenomenal.
Dude, he was great.
He was great.
He got pretty
Phenomenal.
He got
looked-
pretty fucked up at the end there. You reckon he's not dead?
He did.
Nah, he's coming
No,
back.
he did good. It was good. He was a great villain, dude.
He
Great,
was
great way
awesome.
to add a nice Western element.
I
to it.
haven't
he
seen a lot
looked-
of the animated stuff, so that was my introduction to that character, and I was just like, "Fuck, that's great character design."
I didn't expect him to
Agreed.
look so well in live action. He actually looked like Levan Cliff, like the high cheekbones, and
Totally.
he looked
Totally.
absolutely lethal.
Oh,
Like-
dude, yeah,
He did.
Like you don't fuck with this guy, you just don't. It's
so good.
And who do we know? Do we know who did the voice of him? I didn't bother to look at the casting on that guy.
I'll look it up.
Are you objecting?
The power of Google.
Somebody is. Not going to be me, though.
No, he's not in that one.
Are you jetpacking?
I'll take an
Well,
objection. I don't give a fuck.
Speaking of voices,
Corey Burton.
Corey Burton. Yeah. Sorry, I actually did write it here somewhere. But he basically voiced the other appearances of that character in the animated series. It's the same voice actor.
Oh, okay.
Same voice actor. That makes sense.
He's reprising the role for a third time, actually. So
Cool.
now I
I
remember.
like that.
He was in DuckTales.
Woo!
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, well,
What,
make some money.
let's get back on track about Boba. I want to keep the focus.
Are you
tight.
sure? I mean, he was in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, keep going. That sounds great. You sound like me, actually, dude. So yeah, definitely keep going. Because we have oodles of time, and it's like not 2 a.m. in England.
Thundercats.
It's going to be a blast.
Oh, all right. Yeah, he was an awesome character, man. I hope he's not dead. I mean, part of me hopes he's not dead, and the other part of me likes the George R.R. Martin people get killed off and they stay dead kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
I'm pretty stoked that Robo Cobb is going to come back.
Yeah, but this is
RoboCop.
Disney, so we know that this baddie is probably going to make another appearance
that's
later.
true.
Because you can't milk anything properly unless you bring him back to life.
You can't
right?
milk the
And
blue
that's
milk
That's the
out of
Disney
it,
way,
yeah.
folks.
I want to see Bossk. You remember the lizard? Russian, that
Bossk,
guy.
yeah.
I have the dopest resin statue of Bossk, man.
Show
I
it to
gotta-
us. You got it
I
right
should.
there?
It's all the way upstairs. I can't go upstairs and get it right now. There's too many sleeping children in the house, but
It's a risky maneuver, dude.
maybe I will.
That makes me
at any
think,
rate, yeah.
getting back to Boba Fett, that makes me think, I read like in the extended universe back in the day, it's probably not canon anymore. Well, obviously it's not canon anymore, but they did a story about, what happened to Boba Fett. And I think the gist of it, if I remember, was he was rescued by Dengar.
Okay.
Remember Dengar? He was like one of the other bounty hunters that was in the lineup that like had this sort of like metal armor and was wearing like a gi top and like a diaper on his head. And
There you go.
that guy. He apparently rescued Boba Fett, and like after he got out of I remember the gist was like,
Dude, he legit looks like he's got a diaper on his head.
I remember he pulled the diaper off his head and pulled him out.
Ugh, gross.
The gist of the story, I don't remember all the details, but the gist was that like he turned over a new leaf and like became like a good guy. Boba Fett did.
Okay.
Like
There you go.
his hatred for like Han Solo fueled him for like a very long time, and then he like got over it. He forgave him and like became a
So he
good guy.
turned the crime syndicate into a union, basically.
That's it.
So it was a similar kind of turnout to what they were doing with this. So maybe they borrowed from that a little bit.
I buy the idea that, his youth with Django and, all that kind of stuff would have been traumatic, and he didn't have a family, et cetera, and he kind of like latches on to having a family with the Tuscans and having a family with, the syndicate he's trying to build. Like, I buy that. Like, that's plausible and makes a reasonable amount of sense.
Was he watching?
And it kind of goes against the idea of him being super ruthless, because then people would have been around him because they feared him instead of loved him. So, like, I kind of get it, but I still think the
he
grittiness
watching?
would have helped.
Was he watching when his father was slain by Mace Windu?
I'm pretty sure he was either saw it or he was there right afterwards because he's got that like.
So why doesn't he hate Jedis? Like he would hate a droid if a droid was responsible for the death of or for you to be orphaned. You know, why doesn't he have a complete distaste and disdain for them? If he was watching, because it's a pretty brutal death.
I mean, maybe he does, but at that stage in the Star Wars universe, there aren't really any Jedis left, according to most people. You know, like it's.
Yeah, right. For the most part,
True.
they've got
I think the general gist, like I think that was one of the things I liked about Mando is when Mando was kicking around, they were like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but let's just say it was something like blah 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 Luke Skywalker, and Amanda's like, who the fuck you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
you know,
they're like a legend. Yeah.
And I kind of liked that it was like the universe is so big that not everybody knows what's going on, you know, and so I don't know, maybe there's a bit of that there too, but it's a risky maneuver to flesh out a story with no real flesh on it, and you know. I don't know.
How did you feel about the sequence in which they take over Bib Fortuna's and Jabba's palace? Do you think it was not even close to the way, like Mando, for example, goes back to kill the client, and he takes out, like clinically, he takes out an entire regiment of troopers doing that? It was so easy and effortless to just take over.
Yeah, Mando. That scene in Mando is like Leon in.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely had that clinical. And I don't know. I mean, I think the intention of the sequence in Boba Fett was that it was supposed to be kind of a fun, maybe more James Bondy, heisty kind of thing.
Sure, heisty, yeah. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it was such a Deus Ex Machina with what's her name's robot mapping the whole place out. You're like, okay, cool. Now they know where everybody is. It's like a video game level instead of anything else.
No, that was cool. I think it could have been.
True.
I would have made it cooler, like when Mando took out the client, because I actually started rewatching season 1 of Mando last night because I finished Boba and I was like, I need more. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they should have made it like that. And again, that's that rougher edge, you know, that more serious kind of tone. Like, you can still make it fun, but, you know, make it a little more serious too, man, you know?
I don't know, because, I mean, there was a very cartoony kind of sequence in the kitchen with the sous chef Robert.
I enjoyed
That's what
that.
I mean. Like, they should have cut that out. I mean, it was funny, but it's
actually,
like...
wasn't he intimidating the rat catcher by saying, I'm Boba Fett, to a real robot?
I don't know, man. It reminded me of the Arnie as James Bond in True Lies in the ballroom mansion. Like it's an homage to Bond, but it's nowhere near as clinical and it's kind of silly. And Tom Arnold's in the van being a dickhead. You know, like it was just kind of a silly sequence that was fun. That's kind of how I experienced it.
Fair enough.
Thank God for Fennec Shand.
Remember the first time I got fired out of a cannon?
Dude, Fennec Shand is great.
Let's stay on Fett.
So Tamura, let's talk Tamura.
Yeah, what about him?
I don't know. I dig him. I dig
always
him.
liked him, man.
He's a good casting. He sounds like but you maybe don't feel that way.
You live in Australia, so I mean, I lived in Australia and I shared a house with Kiwis, and that film was very close to us.
Once for Warriors,
yeah, and to the point in which I actually got that film pretty well because I used to share a house with a Maori guy as well, and there's a certain amount of anger that comes out in that film that it's really hard to replicate. You couldn't make that film today, for example.
No way,
because it's really, really hard to watch.
It's fucking hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, it's hardcore, and there's a rage within that character that he embodies so well, which is Jake, the Masked Haki. And I cannot, I have a memory burn of that performance, and it's hard to place him in any other scenario.
Yeah, wow.
That's why, I'm sorry, Ben, I interrupted you twice earlier, because you have this very sweet memory of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And every time I see his face, I see someone who just beat the hell out of his wife. Because that character was so powerful.
Totally.
It's really hard. Yeah. It's hard for me to look past it, to be honest.
Wow. And some of that hardness may have been welcomed with Boba Fett, and that's kind of part of what we're touching on, yeah.
And there is one sequence when he puts the Tuscan death stick or whatever you want to call it, the name of the weapon.
Gaffy stick.
There you go.
You're dead, dude.
And he does this. I'm dead, sorry. But he does this
that's a death,
Maori, angry, like Haka dance.
Dude,
move.
yeah. Yeah, he totally has
And
some Haka vibes in some of this, yeah.
I would have want more of that whenever he didn't have his helmet on.
Yeah.
Whenever like rage came through, he's got that moment in which it's like, you're dead, you're done, that's it.
Yeah. The Haka stuff definitely came through from time to time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I dig him. I think he was well cast.
I think he was. Well, I mean, look. I mean, once they started with the prequel story, there, the second story, like that was it, you know. And you know, lucky him, man. I mean, this is a good role to have, like Django and the Clone Troopers and Boba Fett subsequently. You know, I didn't like. I mean, I know this is a sore point for many people, but I didn't like how they went and re-recorded Tamura's voice in the original movies. They should have just left that alone. I mean, I get it. I get the continuity thing, and I see what Lucas was trying to do. I could see myself doing something like that maybe, but yeah, I think he's well cast, dude. He's really good. I so enjoyed him and the way he was portrayed in season 2 of Mando with that nice rough edge to him, man, you know. You were still kind of a little scared of him a little bit, you know, which was great. You weren't really sure what he was going to do, which was great to have that kind of character like that where you're really kind of unsure is a good thing, man, you know. And again, the softening, we see why he was softened. They should have just kept some of that rough edge in there. That's all. But yeah, excellent casting with Tamura Morrison. That's all I want to say. I don't have that what is it? Once we're Warriors.
Once we're Warriors.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that, or if I have, it was so long ago I don't remember. You know, I'm more like Benny. He was such a cool, iconic character. You know, when the original trilogy came out.
Look, both that and the sequel, they're not easy films to watch. They're very heavy. It's a very, very heavily charged film. Like, you don't, unless you have the mental energy to watch it, I don't recommend you do, because it's brutal. To this day, it's really hard to watch. But he's a phenomenal actor, and he did have the edge to bring this character, flesh him out. You know, I think the editing didn't do the show any favors, to be honest, because now that I watched it a second time, like, one of the things that really pissed me off at the beginning in the first 2 episodes was how easy it was for a sentry guard or an emissary just to take him down. And then on the second viewing, I kind of picked up when Fennec Shan, I think in episode 4, she goes, or in episode, I think it's episode 4, when she goes, "Oh, you're almost done with the Bacta tank. You're fully healed." And I think this was kind of messed up throughout the flow of the show, because it's justified if he's still weak, because it literally took a guard to hit him twice and take him down. This is Boba Fett we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So I think the editing of the show, that back and forth with the flashback, that's what I didn't like. And perhaps it's not even Rodriguez's fault as a director. You just don't know his editing. Aitan is an editor. The show would be absolutely nowhere without him, even if he edits stuff that he hates completely. Is very good at what he does, and it's a good edit can make or break something.
Yeah,
you know, I think that's what, I don't know. Am I off?
No, I think you're right.
It was clunky, man.
Yeah.
It was the back and forth was a bit clunky. It was like I think a lot of what this show suffered from was the old trying to cram 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag.
Yep.
It's like,
you
know, it would have probably benefited more from just, well, all right, let's just start before, you know, escape from the Sarlacc pit and have your thing with the fucking story, with the Tuscan Raiders, and really just show that story instead of like trying to cram it into the middle of everything else that's going on.
Well, it's connected to the experience of going into the Bacta tank, right? That's when he was having, and he had to do that regularly,
right? Which it's, you know, it's a device, but I agree, it was kind of clunky editing. You know, it wasn't smooth by any stretch of the imagination, and you know, I mean, it didn't really trip my hatred of time jumps.
Are we going back to The Witcher? Are we come back?
But
exactly.
well, my hatred of time jumps is literally the like, and then 20 years later, like that shit. Like, it's not like rearranging the order of things. It's literally the like jumping 20 years ahead at the end of a movie or whatever. So I don't know, but yeah, I agree. It was clunky. The way they took a shot at it, and it wasn't terrible in my opinion, but it was definitely clunky, awkward.
And to tie into today, Junior, to tie into the comment that you made earlier, Kev, about how once Benny mentioned it was kind of a miniseries / offshoot, it kind of reframed it. I feel like if this is in fact a miniseries and it's a one-off, then maybe it's they needed to cram 10 pounds of shit in because they weren't going to take a second swing at it. And if that is the case, then that maybe explains where they ended up a little bit better. But I definitely agree that it was a bit clunky. It didn't really bug me as much, though.
Sadly enough, and I'm happy to take an ejection death for this. I had opened IMDb a while ago, and
Timur Morrison played for the Boston Red Sox in the 80s. Timur Morrison is actually a baseball star.
No.
God damn it.
That was kind of poor.
You can kill me for that if you want.
I'm going to kill you for that, yeah. Let's see here.
I do kind of wish Timur Morrison played for the Sox in the 80s, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's right up there with Kate Capshaw opening for the Detroit Red Wings.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm with that, man. I'm with that.
That really hurts still.
Yeah, you earned it.
I'm just gonna break into song like Andy Garcia now.
There you go. Oh my God! Please, no, don't make me relive that.
It's the only one banging against the chain fence. It's gonna be Chad.
That's right.
This is what sucks about having him on the show is he's listened to all the shows. He knows all of our weak points. He knows how to stick the hot knife in and twist it around
And turn it.
All right, so I guess Favreau clarified that the series was its own series. So
Okay.
I guess it's not an adjunct. So I don't know. Like,
Oh, they're gonna do more?
now I hate it again.
Yeah, right.
And was he trying to fight somebody for the dark saber? What he was saying that?
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. He voiced Paz Vizsla, the big Mandalorian, trying to get the saber off Mando. That's him. That's his.
That's
voice.
Favreau.
That's Jon Favreau.
No
yeah,
shit.
no, I got that. I got that with the voice
Did you know that?
I didn't
on the
get
second
that.
viewing. Yeah, I could hear it in his voice. I've heard Favreau since he did D-Bob and freaking Rudy, dude. I know that dude well.
Okay.
I watched like everything he's done.
Oh, because I watched Swingers like 45 times, I think.
Same. I've seen Swingers about 1 million times.
Well, I've seen it 1 billion times.
I've seen it 3 million
I've
times.
seen it infinity times.
You were talking about Favreau and how he said that he basically stated that it was going to be its own show, not an off.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That was it.
And there's grounds for that because 1,000 bounty hunters to play with and 1,000
I
characters to work
guess.
for.
It would have been so much better as a miniseries. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't need to keep milking this stuff. I think, like, it could totally be, like, 7 fucking hours is plenty of time, you know? Cool. That was fun. Like, spend 7 hours with somebody else. Let's do a Knights of the Old Republic show for 7 hours. Let's do fucking anything.
That I'll watch, yeah.
I would watch that too, yeah.
But
That
Super
game.
cool. Okay, so as I mentioned, and Ben, I know Ben really liked it too. The Tuscan Raiders story, which I touched on a few minutes ago, saying that was kind of the bridge between him being the rough and tumble Boba Fett to this kind of softer, gentler Boba. I really enjoyed the Tuscan story, man. It was just cool to see that sort of transformation in the character, and it was just different. Like we keep talking about, show me a story about this, show me a story about that, show me a story about like Lando and Han just like smuggling shit. Like that's why I liked this Tuscan story. It was like Mando itself. It's like here's something that we know nothing about. Like so, it was cool to see a tie-in of like what happened to Boba. And then also see this, this whole cool Tuscan story. Because, like, I mean, how much do we really know about the Tuscan Raiders? Nothing. And they've been around since the first movie. So
Totally.
I really like that a lot, man. I always thought the Tuscans were super interesting and cool. Their speech patterns were really weird and different, and the masks, like I don't get the whole thing with the masks. So a lot of mystery there, and I loved how they simultaneously showed us a lot more about the Tuscans, showed us that there were different tribes that have sort of different kind of dispositions, like, aggressive or non-aggressive, whatever. And then also they still kept a lot of the mystery there. Like we don't know what they look like under those masks,
Yeah. Yeah, where did you end up with the Tuscan stuff, Benny?
It was some of my favorite stuff. I mean, despite the fact that it was kind of approached clunkily.
Yeah.
I think my favorite episode was definitely the train heist episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Tuscan Raiders in general have always been, as Kev said, mysterious. I remember I went to the Boston Museum of Science, like, I don't know, quite a ways ago, but they had a fucking Star Wars exhibit going on.
Fuck off. That's awesome.
Where they had like all kinds of, props and costumes and just, ton of like actually like the real authentic shit from the movies.
Wow.
And like one of my favorite things was seeing a Tuscan Raider costume, like up close, just all the detail in there was like unbelievable.
That's amazing. Well, how old were you when you saw that? I mean, like 20s or something?
No, I was in my 20s at this point. So it was like, I wasn't a kid, but it was, it was still,
no,
it was still a while ago.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Ben, have you been to North Africa? Have you been to Tunisia or Egypt or Morocco?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I want to go, man. I've never been.
Because it's probably just a deduction, but wasn't the original Star Wars shot somewhere in Tunisia or in North Africa?
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps, at some point, Lucas must have had an experience with Bedouins in the desert.
Yeah.
And I think that's very much the quality, because it's just the nomadic nature of the Tuscans. I know it sounds like a matter of fact, because it is. I think that was the inspiration of how this nomadic tribe that just travels on through the dunes of the desert. Hence the masks to filter out, the sands throughout the storms and stuff like that. Even the way they are dressed because of thermic excursion. Hot and cold. But yeah, I would have loved to see the costumes, man. Like
that's amazing.
Close.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was one of the favorite. There was all kinds of great stuff, but like the Hero Millennium Falcon model prop that they used for the shots, like, was incredible, but that Tuscan Raider costume was insane. But let's put it this way, the Tuscan Raider stuff in this made me want to make a fucking gaffy stick.
There you go.
Totally. Totally, man.
It's totally within reach of being able to do. All you got to do is like find the right stuff. I have the woodworking skills. Like, I'm going to fucking make a gaffy stick.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't go to work with it. Don't.
No. I'm not going to. It'll like hang on a wall. I'm not going to beat the shit out of people with it, but.
No, you can smash the Warhammer table when your flatmates are playing Warhammer.
That's
you
it.
can just go bang right in the middle.
Yeah, man. That I think for
I might
me,
trip some people up for jokes.
That's it. I think for me, the Tuscan Raider stuff was just the right kind of adding lore to the mix. Like, there were moments in the first Mando season, like this is the way kind of Mando stuff, where I was just like, I got Peter tingles, to quote the old the old Spider-Man thing. Like, I was just like so into learning new things about the shit that I love. And as you both said, Kevin and Ben, the Tuscans were so mysterious in the films that just getting any sort of broader awareness was just so delightful. Like, it just definitely lifted from the Bedouins, and definitely like rhymes with the Fremen of Dune kind of thing, and like that's cool, that's great, but just seeing it on screen and just seeing a little bit of tribal stuff, and seeing the banthas up close, and them digging for those weird fucking water sea urchin things, and that weird four-armed reptile monster that Boba Fett kills to get the respect. Like, there's just so much delightful stuff in there, and it just so thoroughly fit in the Star Wars universe that it was really enjoyable, if clunky.
You kind of want to try snorting a brain lizard.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Reminds me of my old LSD days, bro.
Yeah, man. I think I'd like to add too, Chad, that it was great the way that they were portrayed in Mando, but even more so in this because it got away from that picture that they painted in Attack of the Clones or whichever one it was of the prequels, where Anakin gets all pissy and goes and freaking kills them and calls them animals, and
Right.
I don't know, I didn't really. At the time, I just kind of accepted it, but now I like that they're more, and I like that they've made them more and shown that there's more depth there. How could you not? And kind of add a little Fremen kind of vibe to it is cool too, man. So yeah, really, really great.
And it kind of is similar with the Jawas, where both the Jawas and the Tuscans in the original trilogy are just kind of interesting characters, kind of whatever burgers.
Background dressing.
Yeah, but even the Jawas in both Mando and this, where they're like negotiating and they're not dumb and they just like have their own agenda and they want to fucking eat the mudhorn egg or whatever the fuck it was in the Mando stuff. Like, I just love that it's getting fleshed out a bit, and it's what I enjoy most about these things.
Do you still want a cup of Jawa juice?
Yeah, I do.
No, I definitely do, bro. And I just watched, like I said, the first 3 episodes of Mando season 1, and just seeing Mando all hunched down, riding in the cockpit of the Sandcrawler, man.
Dude, it was so good. It's like
great,
banging his head on the fucking roof of it and stuff. Yeah, dude, it's so good.
So yeah, thumbs up on the Tuscan part. Did we already get Umba? Did you give us a dose of salty hatred on the Tuscan thing, or no?
I can't because I don't like the fact that it was fleshed out. I just hated the execution.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I was feeling. You liked the story. You just thought that the back and forth with the editing was kind of the clunky thing that made it not great, right?
Yeah, it's an entire sequence in which is basically growing a conscience, is being taken in at a time of need, and it just went on for way too long, back and forth, breaking the pacing. It's a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think that really is the problem there, because I really think what Ben or Chad said before, it was like, just tell the Tuscan story first.
Have the first episode,
and then transition us into, or even 2 episodes. That would have been fine. And then transition us into, okay, now he's going to do this. You know what I mean? And it made it too clunky, and it also made it so you had a really hard time actually figuring out in my first watch through when this was all taking place. I was like, okay, wait, he's in the back the tank, and like now he's taking over, but wait, wasn't he just with Mando? Like and then whoa, Mando's here. Like it was clunky.
It makes it seem like this series and Boba Fett gets out of the Sarlacc pit, and 3 weeks later he's taken over Jawa's fiefdom. I think it was more likely that it was a couple of years or something, but it just doesn't make that clear enough, I don't think.
No, it does not, and you're 100,000% right.
There's one point to be made for the show, for the show. Like, I'm standing by it, which is the entire production took place during the second wave of COVID.
All the COVID stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so this would have added, and that's why I'm terrified about the Batman film, because that production was marred by the entire thing. So I don't know. However, Ben did point something out earlier, which is the vehicle for the narrative, and having that attached to it, it weighs it down. It's a very dangerous move, like to have this back to tank sequence being tied in to a flashback, and then that has to happen every time. It's what broke the pacing.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you, man.
Clunky's the word.
All right, let's blast into Mando, shall we? Are we good?
Well,
Fennec Shand.
Yes.
You want to do Fennec? Yeah, sorry, you did call Fennec earlier.
Let's talk Fennec first.
Go for it, Umba.
Oh, okay. So, things I didn't know about Ming-Na Wen is that, I didn't know about myself, actually, is that this 50-year-old woman is absolutely uncanny. Her physicality is amazing.
She's got a lot of charisma, dude.
She's got so much charisma, and not only that, but she did most of her stunts. She's just unbelievable. 58 years old. She's jumping around. I can't even tie my shoes. Like,
I can't even see my feet.
She's just unbelievable, man. Well, I'm sorry, man. So we gotta do something. We gotta do something.
Is she 40? Is she 50 or 58? Which is it?
She's 58. She's 58
She's
years old.
58?
1963, she was born.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Wow.
Yeah. And she was the voice of Mulan. I didn't know. She was Chun-Li in Street Fighter.
I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that, but now it came back.
Holy
to me.
shit, she was Chun-Li.
She was Chun-Li in Street Fighter when we liked Street Fighter when it came out.
I love this woman.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I'm telling you, if not only that, but the way she bounces off him, if they played more on that, she saves this show. That cunningness that he lacks while he's down and out and he's trying to, even as a consigliere, a role, as a direct count, like she's not only that is, his strongest emissary or hitwoman, sorry. She's phenomenal. She's absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love her character, and every time she's on screen, she just shines.
She's the drummer of the show.
She's the drummer of the show. I can't fault her one bit. Not a single bit of a performance. It's amazing. Not only that, but she's also the conduit to Mando.
Yeah,
episode 5. So
her final taking care of the big baddie in this was excellent too. Master Assassin stuff was great.
So that's all I've got. Oh, and her name means enlightenment in Chinese.
Enlightenment. There you go.
Wow, that's really cool, man.
No.
I think I didn't realize she was also in ER. She was also in the animated series of Batman as a regular character.
Playing who? Ra's al Ghul daughter.
Talia al Ghul?
No.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Was she? Oh, the Tiger.
Detective Ellen Yin.
Oh, forget it. Yeah. Okay.
In the animated series The Batman.
Wow.
Looks
58 years old.
And
She's got better skin complexion than any of us put together.
In the original live-action Spawn series.
That's right, dude. And she was also, well, hold on a second, man. I'm trying to find this thing that...
Watch while we read from IMDb. Listen to our IMDb rattle-off.
Engaging and captivating in numerous ways.
Jonathan, so I remember her from... Or my first exposure to her was from The Single Guy, which was a Jonathan Silverman sitcom back in the 90s. That. And yeah, I used to watch it, and it was pretty good, man. Jonathan Silverman's funny. But I remember her from that, and I just remember, like, I really liked her, and then I was just like, why is this woman not doing more stuff, And then I think I saw her in something else many years later, and I was like, where has she been? You know what I mean? Because I always thought she was really talented. And then I was psyched when she got on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though I've never watched but maybe one episode of that show. Yeah, really, really great talent, man. Like Amba said, physicality, acting ability, all of that stuff, man. And she just really dials in as Fennec Shand. I thought she was a great choice as Fennec in the Mando series, and I was really glad to see her included in this one. And, she really does a lot of different things, and we get a taste of Master Assassin in that final battle when she just goes in there and just totally ninjas out and kills all of the syndicate leaders and all of those scumbags and the mayor and all of them, like that was just masterful, and it really, I think exemplified her moniker as a Master Assassin. So it was really cool to see that, and like Amba said before, like just so many other scenes where like her physicality was just excellent, man, as a fighter, and, her agility, is really, really great, and I love, there's a great little scene in the final battle where like she takes off to go take out the heads of the syndicate or the crime, group, and she stops to help like the mod gang. And the girl says, thank you. And I love that one line. She goes, manners. I like it. You're welcome. And she just, boom, guns it, and she's out of there. It was just great. She's just great. That's it. That's all I got.
She's awesome.
Fantastic.
And one more thing, just to cover it, because it wasn't, it's connected to another female performance that blew my mind. And
yes,
believe it or not, sorry. It's not in the stuff you listed. It's not the stuff that you listed.
Just messing with you, man. Go. It's okay.
No. All right. Sorry, I got excited. I got carried away.
That's
Sorry.
not on the agenda.
It's okay. All right.
No.
Good, man. Go.
Forget it. Yeah. Apologies.
Just fucking say it.
All right. Well, because I don't know if we're going to talk about Jennifer Beals.
Sure.
Talk about
Let's
it.
go for it.
Shit.
Garza.
Yeah.
She's a maniac.
That's worth a mention at least, yeah.
It is, and it's the character as well. Her name is Garza Fwip.
It's a great name. It's a great Star Wars name, that one.
Yeah, it is, but then we're going to fall into the cool whip thing. It's truly kind of thing. I can't pronounce it correctly. I think it's Garza Fwip. Isn't it?
Yep.
Kev, you reading it?
Ben would know. That's not my thing.
Can someone else pronounce it?
No, I'm not reading it.
All right. Anyway, she's the proprietor
can read
of the. Go ahead.
Of the club.
The sanctuary, yeah, the cantina, whatever you want.
Twi'lek.
She's great.
That's the Twi'lek, yeah, Twi'lek.
A great little cameo.
She's phenomenal, and also that sequence won me over. It's in episode 4, and it's, in my opinion, that is the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett before it becomes season 3 of The Mandalorian. I love how that character is introduced and talked down by her as well. Like her performance is, and also she's beautiful. I have no idea how old she is, but she must be in her 50s.
Dude, Jennifer Beals is like Ming-Na Wen. She's way older than you think she is, and
You're
she
kidding.
looks fantastic.
How old is she?
It's born in 63. Do you know how
There you
fast
go.
you're going? 65?
64.
63.
She's 62
Get
years
her.
old. Are you for
Almost
real?
made it.
No, she's born in 63.
Yes.
Okay.
She's 59.
That's the fetish. We have a fetish. That's bad.
Who's we? You're the only one talking about it.
Well, no. Okay, well, you cut this part out. That's fine. I'm just saying I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, she was awesome. I think Garza Fwip is the sound that it makes when you think about her. Huh?
Oh, God.
That was so terrible, dude. You're dead.
It's onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia, dude. Dude, I just want to throw out how delighted I was that Danny Trejo was the Rancor keeper.
Totally, man. Come on. Gotta love a
so
Trejo appearance, man.
So good.
That's what I call fan service.
I had such love for the original Rancor keeper in Jedi that it was just
When he started crying.
it's so good, man. So good. And Danny Trejo, I have such a soft spot for that dude.
Dude, he's great. How if you've ever listened to how did this get made, with Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer, they do movies like, not terribly, I'm kind of like we do, but not really. They had an early episode. They had Trejo on the show, and it was like just him, and they were interviewing him, and it was great. Like he just told like all of these cool stories and like his backstory, and it was just awesome, man.
It's awesome.
He was a total criminal, dude, and then he, got out and reformed himself, and he kind of got into helping out, doing like stunt stuff and fight coordination, and then that was that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. He's always been great. And I love that I love that he's doing more and more like, upfront roles and just great little cameos. And I love that he's become like, he's like almost become like a meme, like the,
Yes.
Yeah. It's great.
No, it's really great. In fact, in that interview, he revealed that, and this is something that I never forgot because I thought it was so cool. He gets sent scripts all the time, and his agent gives him tons of scripts, right? And a lot of them are like student filmmakers, like in colleges and stuff, and he'll just like go do their movies.
That's fucking great, dude. He seems like
And
a
it's just
legend.
that's such a cool thing to do, man.
Imagine how delighted you'd be if you're like your student movie and Danny Trejo comes in and just fucking, bangs it out. That's so
Exactly. Oh my God, you'd flip your shit.
You transitioned us a minute ago, Umba, with the episode 4 is the best episode before it turns into Mando season 3. Let's talk Mando, dude.
Yeah, right. Let's talk Mando.
Let's talk Mando.
It was delightful having some Mando episodes. It didn't bother me. It bothered a lot of other people, but fuck them, they're nerds.
Yeah. No way,
I went
dude.
back to the show. I went back to the show for it. So you could easily pick up the series from if you did really dislike the show, you could easily pick up from episode 5. There's no connection, barely any connection to the rest of the show in episode 5.
Agreed.
So
I don't know why people had a problem with it, because Mando resurrected Boba Fett as a character. You know what I mean? So like to have Mando in there, like it was very, very seamless. Like when he came back and Fennec was like, you know, we want to hire you. And he's like, no, it's on the house. You know what I mean? Because Fett totally hooked him up in the other episodes, bro. They're bros, bro.
It seems like they were taking the opportunity to like use some of the Boba Fett series to kickstart the Mando season, because it feels like the Mando stuff is, I hope, setting us up for like a bigger kind of MCU style thing with Grand Admiral Thrawn and all that other kind of shit. So like I feel like this could have been the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Mando, but then it would have maybe like been a challenge for them to get to where they wanted to get with this upcoming season, you know? So it's like, yeah, cool. Throw a couple episodes in here and get the Grogu thing resolved. And now they're back, you know, the gang's back together. Grogu's a little fucking jump flipping ninja who stops Rancors, and cool. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. With some Mando chainmail on. Yep.
Yeah, dude. His mithril fucking vest.
His half mithril, half Beskar chainmail dress shirt.
very weird move by the studio as well to change the promo poster 17 hours later after episode 5 came out. They changed the promo. Yeah, you can take a look. The new promo poster has Mando in the front.
Yeah, right.
And that came out right after.
That's annoying, man. That's annoying.
They did that because of the response to the show. Like
they are such a bunch of pussies. I cannot. I went on such a tirade about this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You guys echoed what I said. It's like, just do an original story and have the balls to put it out. Don't change the promo posters and try to rework it so everybody's happy. It's like if you just did the work and you stood by it, or as Chad would always say, like if you're just confident in your work,
right,
be fine, man. Bunch of tools.
Look, it is still. I mean, I'm not in the position to forgive anybody or anything. Like, I actually like the show now. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think it's in its entirety. It's entertaining. It's just that if I have to pin it to a factor, definitely the pandemic. I think throughout production must have been a problem to produce something that was cohesive enough. And if some choices were made later on because of public response, because the show came out, it was an episode per week. So they must have seen, some executive must have looked at who's dropped, out of the show, who kept watching and responded accordingly. It's not a good move.
It's not storytelling, dude. It's not storytelling. It's marketing in real time. That's bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the problem that I have with the show.
Well, it's not the problem that I have with the show. It's the problem that I have with the handling of the Star Wars intellectual property. It seems quite clear through our many, many conversations that the studio style meddling is one of the key issues, in most of the failures of all this shit, of all of the movies and all of the shows.
Was it Lucasfilm was purchased, was it $4 billion?
I think it was 4, yeah.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
They made that money back. They made the money back after 2 movies.
Yeah.
It's printing fucking money. They're plenty rich.
This podcast was born in the fire of hatred for Star Wars. Literally, that was like our first, well, not our first episode. One of them. Yeah. And this show will die with us hating Star Wars. That will be our last episode. In every Star Wars episode, there's been a little dose of hatred.
Little sprinkling.
And it's really not about Star Wars. It's about the handling of Star Wars.
The taking of something beloved and ruining it.
Big picture here, they're moving the fucking ball in the right direction.
They are finally.
I agree. I agree.
The sequelogy is a tragedy. It's a missed opportunity. Fuck them for that. It wasted all of our time. And, if some of that shit, if it's canon, it's stupid. But Favs really seems to, have a bit of a compass going, and he seems to get it for the most part.
Yeah, Filoni.
And Dave Filoni's had it. He's been on it for a long time, So I think you keep those guys at the heart of things, you're going to see more good content. Of course, not everything they make is going to be solid gold. it's, you take the good with the bad, I guess, as things go. I do not think this show was the strongest.
It wasn't the weakest.
Out of, between this, just even between this and the 2 previous seasons of The Mandalorian. But it's still decent, it's still better than, whatever that fucking movie was.
I think it's better than Solo.
It's definitely way better than Solo, dude. It's like not as good as Rogue One, maybe, but I mean, Rogue One is probably on par with the quality of this. I think they're both like sort of equal footing,
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
The only other thing I got to say is you take the good, you take the bad, you take it all, and there you have the facts of life. Right? So,
yeah.
Well said, Benny. Thank you for that. That was great.
I totally agree. I think Favs and Filoni are great stewards as long as the studio can just leave them the fuck alone as much as possible. They seem to be reasonably good at navigating the politics bullshit, so hopefully they keep it up.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that they have the same 12-inch figure that Ben has.
Yeah, there's a lot of love. Those dudes have a lot of love.
No, they got street cred, dude, is what they got.
Yeah.
There's one thing about the series that, we mentioned earlier briefly, how it mirrors the storyline of The Godfather Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? I missed that.
There's a ton of references, even direct quotes, and there's one quote in particular that it's Boba. It's like, my offer is this. Nothing.
Yes.
That's exactly what Michael Corleone
right.
says in The Godfather Part 2.
That's
You have the fruit
Good one,
reference at the end when he's being given a piece of fruit by the villagers. That's Don Fanucci in The Godfather Part 2. And I think it was either intentional or it was ingrained into Filoni and Fav's psyche, because they have an Italian American background. So I don't know if that is what's going on here, but it is one of the best films of all time. So even if it's not intentional, it just happened. It's a thing.
I'm sorry, I cannot see that scene in The Godfather or this Mando scene without thinking about the Simpsons version of that, when Homer has that dream. And the lady walks up to him and she goes, "Don Homer, I bake a special donut just for you." And he goes, "Molto bene. That's a nice donut." So good, man.
The fucking depths of your Simpsons lore, dude. I love it.
The depths of my brain are scary, dude. Yeah.
You just brought me back to House of Gucci with that.
That's it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Sorry about that, bro. So anyway, yeah, but well said point. Definitely, these guys are throwing their influences in, and that's clearly one of them, man, and a cool one too, man. And they didn't like beat us with it, which I think is great. I like the whole thing with the offer. It was cool.
Yeah. There are some super obvious Horse D-overs, and then there's some less obvious ones. Like, I didn't pick up on the Godfather stuff.
No doubt.
But
I didn't either, man. But, yeah, there's definitely some more obvious ones. The Cad Bane guy with the... Well, we should save this for bits and bobs. Stay on target here. Stay on target. Stay on target. Oh, my God, Ben. The other day I did this for my kids. I don't know why. We were upstairs, like, reading for bedtime, and I was like... I go, Rocky 5 standing by. And they started howling. They're like, "Dad, what is that? Can you do that again?" And I was like, "Yeah, Rocky 5 standing by."
Hey, Red Sly standing by.
Dude, it was so fun making that little thing
love
for
that
the show, too. Red 3 standing by. Hey, Rocky 5 standing by.
the
good stuff.
The fucking
kind of like Red Sly myself.
I love the Red Sly
too.
too.
I like that one too, man. That's a good one.
The Mando stuff here, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like we could do a mini-sode on the 2 Mando episodes, because it's just kind of like Mando season 2.5. Like, I guess it's just like, suffice to say it was good, and I think, Umba, when you were saying you got choked up when Mando was kind of trying to hook back up with Grogu and was sad that he came all that way, like, that's the heart of the Mando stuff for me in this season, so...
Definitely. I don't... go ahead.
Sorry, it didn't feel like a gratuitous move either. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious that they're tugging at your heartstrings, but it's welcome.
Yeah.
It didn't feel manipulative in any sort of way. Like,
it makes sense.
Twice.
Yeah. They have a connection, man. They love each other. And I love it. I love that,
Sweet.
you know, Grogu's fucking 80 years old, but he's still like a 2-year-old, you know? It's great. It's just
Yeah,
delightful.
it's proportionate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's delightful.
Yes.
What are you reading?
I'm not. I was just staring into space. Thinking about Mando.
Thinking about Mando's sweet Beskar armor.
Did I mention the sound design in the episode where he gets the Naboo starfighter that Ben didn't like that much?
Just the air cleaner.
Just the air cleaner front end.
Trust me when I tell you this, that entire sequence, because in Atmos, sounds like it's insane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
It's really like it's going over your head. It's really, really good.
Dude, that hot rod
Really
stuff
good.
is
I
great.
rewatch it. Yeah, I rewatched it
And
3
that's
times.
Yeah, not
You
to get
the
on a
sense of-
tangent, but yeah.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say not to get on a tangent, but you and I were going on about that before
Oh, sorry.
some movie a couple months ago, and I so want to like explore that.
What?
Because it
Atmos
seems like
stuff.
such a different way to experience. Yeah, just a different way to experience the sound in films. Because I really, really like good sound now.
Particularly Atmos over DSX. I think its positional audio is because I remember getting both the panel and upgrading the sound, and I didn't care about the HDR. I didn't care about the 4K. The sound just drew me in.
I agree.
That's something.
I would go for a super sound upgrade before I even went to like 4K. I don't even like 4K. I'd rather watch it in SD, man, especially older movies.
Look, the remaster, or even Blade Runner, which is an older film, when Deckard is eating and it's raining in Neo Tokyo, you're there. You're next to him, and it's just, yeah.
Love it.
So yeah.
Super cool. It's a shame I'm gonna have to cut that section out.
That's all right.
It's
fine.
so
It's got nothing
completely
to do with it.
irrelevant, but
Yeah,
it's
no, of
great.
course,
But
of
it's so
course.
irrelevant.
Of course. No, but
It's all good. It is relevant.
No, well, it is for Atmos, but not for the conversation, yeah. Because I think the Blade Runner films, both of them are used as, if someone is giving a demonstration, there's 3 discs that they use. It's Blade Runner, 2049, and Mad Max. That's it.
Wow, super
Yeah,
cool.
They use as reference, that's what, for Atmos.
So there you have it, folks. Check out this show in Dolby Atmos. And you can go to dolbyatmos.com and use the code EBD1.
/EBD.
Anyway.
Yeah, you really can't do that.
All right, so let's get back to Mando here for a second. I'll say my piece. I'm a huge fan of the armor, so seeing the armor, Emily Swallow, like just awesome. Was really bummed out that Mando told the truth about his helmet removal and got canceled.
That was kind of cool, though. I liked that he didn't lie about it.
Yeah, I like that he did too. I dug the whole connection to the Mandalorians and the culverts and all that stuff. So if this is, the kind of the Mando canon going forward, I'm going to kind of be bummed to see that not there, but.
Oh, come on, it's not the end of that.
Well, I know, you're right. But it was definitely awesome to see the armor again and whatever that dude's name was, the big dude, played by Jon Favreau and, or at least voiced by Jon Favreau. So, yeah, I mean, I really preferred I guess if I'm really being honest and thinking about this for a second, to keep the story focused on Fett, it's okay to have Mando as long as it's the dynamic between him and Boba Fett. I mean, logic would dictate this, right? So as much as I love seeing Ahsoka and as I love seeing Grogu and I love seeing Skywalker, really didn't need to be there because all of that stuff is really related to the Mandalorian. And it really has jack shit to do with Boba Fett, to be totally blunt. You know what I mean? So
Blunt.
while to be, dude, nice one. To be Emily Blunt, it was awesome. Just save it for a Mando episode because it really doesn't have anything to do with any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Unless there's something that I'm not thinking of.
I bet you $20 when you watch the next season of Mando, it'll make sense why they put this here instead of in that season. That's my guess.
I'm sure it will. I hope so, and I bet it would, knowing Filoni and Favreau, which would be great. But for the sake of living in the here and now, like it just doesn't really apply, and it takes episodes and time away from the Fett story. You know what I mean? Where I much rather would have seen excuse me, Mando, doing something with Boba Fett. You know what I mean? Because like they developed a really cool dynamic in the second season of Mando, and like we're gonna get into the final battle, but like in the final battle, dude, like back to back, Boba and Mando blasting away. I mean, what the hell was cooler than that? I don't even know. Giant monsters smashing fucking robots. That was cool too. Anyway, so that's my bit on Mando.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Did you notice the parallel connection to the Gunslinger episode? It's in episode 3 or 4 when he basically finds Fennec Shand. Right before it, there's like a flashbang in the sky. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening in the Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually didn't pay attention to that the first time I watched it. I had to watch it a second time, and that's when I started appreciating the show, because I didn't. So I guess this kind of a connection that you can't take away between the two shows. I mean, I know that it's episode 5 that doesn't belong in this show. Yeah, this is super enjoyable.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. It was one of my favorite episodes. It doesn't really belong in this show.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
Do you have any objection to the way they did it, Benny?
Through the lens that it's an addendum to The Mandalorian in the first place, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that it's potentially going to be a bunch more seasons, I don't really understand how they can do more seasons of Boba Fett. I just feel like that was a great place to leave it. Like, I'd be cool if Boba Fett comes back here and there in Mando or something, but like, he takes out the Pikes, he saves Tatooine, he's the daimyo now. Cool, done. Like, don't really need any more.
So is that the mark of a good show?
Yeah.
You don't want to see any more.
I want to see the Book of Grief Karga.
Yes.
Dude, yes. I would totally watch that.
Know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
Yes, I do know what you're saying.
Well, let's transition into the Luke stuff then, the Grogu Luke stuff. I was delighted by the Luke stuff. I found it very obviously fan servicey, but it hit the right spot. The digiwork was way better.
Way better.
Yeah, it was. Didn't definitely. I don't really have a ton to say on that, man. I kind of said it a minute ago that stuff was great. It just didn't really need to be in Boba Fett because it really just didn't have anything to do with it. I'm sure we'll find out later. Yes, but didn't really need to be there. I don't know.
Dude, the X-wing landing with R2 in the back without Luke driving was pretty awesome.
That was dope for sure.
I was expecting Han to drop him off. I don't know why, because it was sightings of Harrison Ford dressed as Solo in London.
Really?
So yeah, so there's something coming. I think that he's
rejuvenated. Wait, what? There was who? Harrison Ford dressed as Solo?
Yeah, as Han Solo in London last month. So,
but he would be. How would you? Well, whatever. Yeah.
Well,
don't break your brain thinking about it.
We don't need to go down that nerd hole right now.
No, but possibly the next season. Mando.
Similar age to Luke, wouldn't he? In this time period,
he would be. You have to de-age him or something.
So he would have to.
But I suppose they could de-age him or whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah. Interesting.
They need to leave that de-aging shit alone, man.
They do. I think that's a bad thing overall.
Well, because of the Irishman, probably.
Yeah, the Irishman. That was terrible. The what was that dude that should have played Skywalker that everyone was getting all up in arms? The dude that played Winter Soldier. He would have been a good recasting of Luke.
Oh,
he was perfect.
Stan, what's his name? Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, exactly. He would have done a great job. I totally think it would be okay to recast Luke, man.
I do too.
Yeah, he looks like he's a clone. He looks exactly like him.
He looks a lot like him, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed the Luke stuff. I totally agree that it didn't fit in this series, but just like Benny said a minute ago, looking through the lens of this series as a mini-series / one shot, like, I was all in. Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Speaking of Luke, the two rebel fighters that pull close to...
Yeah, that was great.
One of them, not the Asian actor, the other one, is the guy that played Luke in Mando the first time, but they changed the actor in the second one. The second guy is the guy that got rejuvenated and played Luke in it's the same actor.
There you go.
Wow, you sound exactly like me. That's great. It's interesting to watch myself do what I would normally do. Thank you for that.
And are you finding it good or annoying? Are you just like, God damn, shut
No,
up?
I'm finding it great. I mean, this is this is enjoyable because Amba and I are on video, so I've got him, he's got me, and you guys aren't, and that's fine. But it's cool to be able to watch him.
Mini Mulvey?
I don't even have a camera, so.
I didn't see any point in turning the video on because I got a fucking Bane microphone.
I don't know. You might be Billy Joel playing the harmonica.
Yeah, that too. I love Billy Joel playing the harmonica. That photo is the best.
Focus Trinity. Skywalker.
Oh, there's a Matrix death, Kev.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm turning back your famous line to me, too.
Yeah, Focus Trinity is one of my favorites. Benny, comments on Skywalker, bro? Where were you at with that?
Focus, Tiffany.
Focus Tiffany.
Oh, I
love it.
man.
Love it.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it was clear they were giving us some fan service
Yeah.
peppered throughout this thing, so whatever. I'll take it. Better than some of the other, more clumsy attempts they've done to do things. I know it didn't really, wasn't necessary, but whatever.
There was something poetic.
I wasn't angry.
No, me neither. There was something poetic about Luke being frustrated with his student being a piss poor student, which is obviously like a total echo of Yoda and Kenobi being grumpy about Luke. But I don't know. I found it delightful now that I'm not a 16-year-old fucking idiot about how you do look back and see the stupidity of your youth, And him just like taking care of a 2-year-old, 80-year-old Grogu, just being like, God damn it, kid, listen to what I'm telling you. it's perfect in a way.
80-year-old, I like it.
It's funny.
I'm surprised they didn't throw in a Ewan McGregor as Force Ghost Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do with the Obi-Wan stuff.
I thought you were gonna say Forrest Gump there when it started coming out of your mouth.
Lieutenant Diane.
Yoda.
Baby Forrest Whitaker. I want milk.
Forrest.
Baby Forrest Whitaker. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Goo gaga.
I want milk.
Put this Lego in my mouth.
Yeah, right on. There's not a whole lot to say about the
You
Luke
sound
stuff.
just like him. That's so creepy.
All right, final battle then.
All right. Wait, what now? Final battle? Are we good with Luke? Amba, did you give
Final
your discourse on Luke?
I have nothing to say. I can neither confirm nor deny that he was in the show. So, I just thought he was very pissy, and I wish he wasn't in the show. So, he could do better things with that hand. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have done better. They could have done more with that time.
Yep. Because there's literally a bit where Mando waiting on a bench in that show.
I know, laying on the bench.
And he asks, it's literally about to break the fourth wall. Do you want me to sit down and wait? Yeah.
How long is this going to be? It's like too fucking
giant
long, bro.
Ant robots. Anyway, final battle.
How awesome was Boba Fett riding a fucking Rancor?
Dude, just the whole final battle was awesome, man.
It was over the top, but in kind of the right way.
Don't care. I loved every minute of it. I was kind of mad when I watched it the first time through and wasn't paying attention. And when I watched it again last night, I was like, this is fun.
Yeah, that's the word. It was fun.
Right? Namba, you feel differently. I could tell by that look on your face.
Yeah, you look like you're about to smash your head against the desk.
I have a couple of problems. No. So one of them is I didn't like the digitized CGI sentry guns. I thought it was super stupid. However, I know that it appealed to the people that like those prequels because that's the stuff that was in it. So that's appealing to them. I literally went with joy and glee whenever the Rancor picked up one of the pikes and Boba shot it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was one of my favorite bits. But I also had a terrifying fear that Black Santo, the Wookiee without a cause, the Black Carastis,
Very nice.
was going to do a Willem Dafoe in Platoon. And I'm happy that didn't happen because there was a moment in which in slow motion, he carries himself and I'm thinking, oh no, he's going to get killed now. And he was going to get killed like Willem Dafoe in Platoon.
Yeah.
And if that happened, I would have switched everything off and I would have gone to bed. And that didn't happen.
You'd have burned your whole apartment down, bro. Let's be real.
Possibly. The house. I would have burned the entire house down and the one next door.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. But the other thing as well is how long does it take for Mod Girl number 1 to change her pea shooter to a rifle? Because we watched it through the entire battle fighting with a tiny starter gun.
I mean, that thing was small.
Doing my head in.
Her gun was like the noisy cricket in Men in Black
Dude,
that
totally.
he gives Will Smith, and he's like, "No, you got to be kidding me."
Did you watch the meme that I sent you of the guy spinning, the guy with the webcam, the cheap webcam on his eye?
No.
Keeps doing a spin and shooting.
Oh, now I gotta look at that.
Try do a spin. Don't do it now, but
No, any excuse to eject and he'll take it, bro.
look, there's endless homages to King. There's an homage to King Kong in that.
Oh,
as well.
totally,
It's
man.
the Ranko
Yeah.
handing off the.
That was a little on the
Yeah.
nose, but yeah, it was total homage.
Yeah. Look, the Ranko stuff is amazing, and I like the pure rage of it all. But yeah. So you didn't see that until now.
Oh, he's ejecting, yeah.
He's watching it.
You hear the episodes that we do, and we always make fun of him for ejecting.
great.
It's a constant fucking
It
thing.
is great. Do a spin.
This is so great. The spinning is so great.
But yeah, no, I liked it, and then the stuff I didn't like. So
I liked it, and then the stuff I didn't like.
put it this way, man. The peak of this show for me is episode 4, 5, and 6. Just like in the saga.
Hey,
Okay.
there you go.
Ooh, interesting.
I like it. There's something poetic about that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to do. It'd be cool to do. Yet I know we keep talking about this, and I got to start doing it. We got to just start doing some recuts, man. Because I would love to take this and recut the show. Like take all the Tuscan parts, put that all together in the beginning, and then recut it. So then we get the Boba becoming the daimyo, whatever. After that, and then cut the Mando stuff. Not that we hate Mando, but because it's just too really unrelated to this story. And then do the 6 and 7.
You can make a pretty sweet 3-4 hour cut out of it.
Definitely. So just to give my treatise on the final battle, again, I like that they threw in the whole, the Western themes throughout this,
Yeah.
the Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane. Is that right, Cad Bane?
Yep.
And then, Cad Bane at the end and Boba. And I like that he went to the gaffy stick.
Yep.
It really kind of brought it back around to how he got to where he was, So I dug that. I just absolutely love the 2 Mandalorians flying in, shooting
No, that was
everybody.
fucking
In that
awesome.
one scene was fantastic. And then they land, they basically just start wasting everybody, dude. And then they're back to back shooting everybody. I mean, it was just so cool, so well done. Yes, there was some horse-de-overs there, and that's fine. And then, to see Boba come rolling in on the Rancor's back was just too much, dude. It was so awesome. And normally I don't like stupid, King Kong-y things like that. That's been so done to death. But, this time I was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I was just like, giant monsters smashing the shit out of giant robots that can't be destroyed by anybody else. It's perfect, man. It was just great.
Yeah, tons of fun. Perfectly encapsulated the joy, the boyish joy of Star Wars,
Yes, well said, dude. And then to have all the farmers show up at the end with their pea shooters, we're here to help, god damn it, that was great.
Yeah, I concur, sir.
The marshal would have wanted it this way. That kind of shit. It was great.
Super westerned out.
Ellie, tell everybody to go inside for a spell. You just want to be safe.
Dude, that fucking
that stuff was
deputy,
great.
dude. Holy shit, is that guy a Muppet?
What do you mean a Muppet?
He was just fucking, up in Mando's grill, and he's like, go back inside. He's new. And then later on, he's on the porch with his fucking hands out, getting himself.
Oh,
his buddy
that guy
killed.
was such a red shirt, bro. I mean, let's be real here, right?
So good.
Such a red shirt. You knew that dude was going to die the second you saw him.
But then he takes fucking what's his name with him, not literally because he's in the back to tank at the end, but you're just like, you fucking idiot. He played the idiot so well.
He
I
did.
wonder if there are other westerns where the deputy gets shot like right away. I can't remember.
Gotta be.
It's a proper trope, dude. It's like Western 101. The deputy gets shot first.
Exactly, dude. They just give that deputy a red shirt. Of course, back then it was probably a red bandana because the red shirt hadn't been invented yet, you know? So, yeah, that was great. I just love the inclusion of all that stuff. Even in even like I said, like some of the lines were just so Western. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're faster than me, you know? Or what? No, he goes, I'm still faster than you. Good fun, man. Good fun.
Yeah, it's unabashedly space western. There's no question.
No doubt about it.
No doubt.
It's not trying to disguise that fact by any stretch.
Yeah.
Bits and bobs?
Yeah. Segueing from the final episode, peppered throughout, I thought the Major Domo character, the Twi'lek,
Oh, yes.
that was like the mayor's like
that nerd.
right hand man or whatever. I thought the sassy Twi'lek dude. I thought he was funny through the whole thing, but just like in the last
Fantastic.
episode when they get the bright idea to send him out to like negotiate for them and like on no terms or whatever,
Yeah.
like it was just. I
What's
thought
the
that
name?
was great.
What's the name of that character actor? It's really
David.
Really funny.
Doesn't have a name.
Oh, the character, I don't know. The guy's David Picasey.
David
Wow,
Duchovny, yeah.
he's
I've seen it a
fantastic.
dozen things, yeah.
That's funny. I forgot. I didn't realize he didn't have a name. He's so delightfully ridiculous. He's what Jar Jar Binks should have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said, dude.
Yeah.
He was delightful. Yeah, you're right, Benny. It culminated so perfectly in him being like, I went to the school for diplomacy, and he's like standing out there, just being like, yes, my good
He's like, I can
sirs.
save the day. They're like, yes, do it.
Pardon me for a moment while I read these terms. And halfway through, he's like, oh, fuck, I should have read this before I got out here. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know you guys are very fond of space talk, and in the Mando episode, when the Naboo Starfighter is being built, the Jawas come in with a particular piece that is going to be very important for the ship to be finished.
Hyperdrive motivator. Yeah.
Mando picks it up and he goes, "Oh, this is a cryogenic density combustion booster," and it is exactly what Han Solo. It's probably the same prop, but it's what Han Solo uses to hold on the trash compactor.
Dude, I saw that.
Oh, right.
That was
yeah.
so cool.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's so
That's what it's called. It's a
fucking great.
cryogenic density combustion booster.
I love it.
Nice. That's a nicey. That's a nice one.
That's a nugget.
That's you know what that is? That is a really nuggety bob is what that
It
is.
is a nuggety bob.
That is a nuggety bob, dude. Nice one,
Nice
man.
one.
You got a
bobbity
great
nugget.
depth. You got some nice nuggets. You got a nuggety bob. You're like a 10 out of 10 guest, man.
Love it.
Thank you. Chimichanga will be proud.
I'll throw the love for the Gamorrean guards into the bits and bobs for me. It was delightful to see the Gamorrean guards back in action, updated,
Yes.
new makeup, new costumes. They're so great.
And again, Chad, more of them. So like that was something we got a glimpse of in Jedi, and here we get to kind of see like a little bit more exposition on them. So it was really nice.
I was super bummed about their kind of unceremonious cliff death, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of beat, dude.
it's kind of sad.
They made a lot of noise. There's a lot of squealing.
I'm fair enough.
You
You throw me off a cliff, I'd fucking squeal.
No, but before that, when they were fighting, like you can really hear like pigs, like noises. And
Yeah.
stuff, like.
This may be an unpopular choice, but there were some really fun and unique droid designs in this
definitely.
series.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
definitely.
Particularly, I really liked the engineer droid, like the train driver droid.
Oh,
That
yeah.
thing was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, so cool. And then, like, even the chef
I
droid
loved
with, like, all the
those.
arms and the
I
different
was gonna say
attachments and
that.
shit. I thought it was fucking great. Like, stuff you haven't seen, but that makes sense and fits really well, I think, in the Star Wars, gear and themes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the little
Artifacts.
the other kind of I don't know, sort of the architect mechanic droid that was like he basically looked like a little ATST. You know what I mean? Like he would show like the holograms of where Mando should put the piece on the ship. Like that was a cool little.
Oh
droid,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right?
There's some great droids in this.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely good droid action. Pretty good creatures too. I think I was more, I don't know, a lot of humanoids, but it's all good. Still good.
Dude, I love Dreadlock Bowser Chewbacca. I'm so down with that fucking Wookiee. He's so cool, dude.
Amazing. Every time the power just fucking freckled off his...
Yes.
His dusters, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah, Chrysanthemum
Yeah,
or
his
whatever.
dusters, knuckle dusters, yeah. Love it.
He's one of the coolest fucking characters I've seen in a long time, man.
I love how he pays. It rips that Trandoshan arms off,
Yeah.
even if he's off it for a clean slate, and he does it, and then he pays.
Yeah.
He pays his tab and lives.
Yes,
It's
I
great.
like
Great,
that
dude.
too. That was really great.
Loved it.
Just going back to the droids for a second, the plentiful use of the weird like box droid with the tree trunk legs.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I always thought that was a bizarre droid from the first couple films, and I love how they keep throwing him back in there, man.
Yep.
The fucking gonk droid.
Yeah, the gonk.
Gonk.
Yeah.
Gonk. Gonk.
Mom.
We didn't talk about 88, which is it brings sense to every interaction that Boba has with other races.
Oh,
This is a
yeah, that,
translating
like,
robot.
Yeah, he's kind of Boba's 3PO, hey? I forgot about that
it's
one.
Matt Berry. It's Matt Berry from Toast, which you guys should watch. Stephen Toast. He plays Stephen Toast. He plays one of the vampires in What We Do in the Shadows, the series. He's an English actor, and it's very, very funny.
Somebody just told me to watch that show. It's on Hulu, I think, right? What We Do in the Shadows.
As an actor,
Yeah.
as an actor, you need to watch Toast.
Okay.
You really enjoy it.
Toast?
Toast of London?
Toast of London, yeah.
Okay.
It's absurd, but it's very funny. I have one more nugget. Not really a nugget, but I would expect you guys to talk about him. He should be heard that you guys are not you didn't mention him yet. And it's Stephen Root, who plays Barry in Office Space. He's the watermonger.
God damn it. Yes, he was the watermonger.
Yeah.
It's so wasted
Shit,
because it's a phenomenal actor.
Oh,
One
yeah.
more.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
right,
from
dude.
Milton to Jimmy James to Bill Krogstad to William Dauterive, that guy is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, I was delighted when I saw him in as the watermonger, man.
The judge from Idiocracy.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Oh, he's the judge. Yes.
Yeah, he's great. I love Stephen Root.
He's the fucking man.
He also plays the man in the High Castle.
That's
literal
right.
man in the
Yeah,
High
he
Castle.
is the man in the High Castle. I have to say that
Spoiler alert.
I love how not grumpy I am about Danny Trejo and Stephen Root cameos, where like a 16-year-old movie would be like, I don't want any known actors in my favorite movie. I am a fucking idiot. You know, like you could totally.
I'm way too cool for that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm starting to really get on Ben's bandwagon of just enjoying something for what it is and not being such a fucking asshole all the time. It's really, it's a big transition for me. Nah.
Yeah, that's also my bandwagon.
No, you're saying that you wouldn't have liked cameos when you were younger.
I just was such a grumpy, entitled little fuck when I was younger, and I think I'm just trying to shed that. Skin, you know.
I always
Word.
enjoyed a good cameo, but hey,
Speaking of cameos, I got to give it up, man. Thundercat,
Dude,
as
Thundercat, fuck yeah.
the Ripper
you
Doc.
stole it. You stole it from me.
Sniped it. I love it.
Nice,
Sniped
dude.
your Bob,
Yeah,
dude.
Nice.
Nuggety Bob snipe.
I know how it
Dude.
feels now.
We're not even in Nuggets yet, and you're getting sniped. I love it.
I love it. They even put some of his music in, like, you know, when they're outside the his little, like, I don't know, office or whatever.
Mod shop.
Yeah, mod shop. There's like, it's definitely Thundercat playing, undoubtedly. But
It's
yeah,
awesome.
he's
dude.
awesome. I love his music. So I love his music, and he's a fucking turbo nerd. So it's awesome to see him in something like this.
It's fucking
He
great.
gets the last cutscene. He gets to be in the
Yeah,
last
he's in the
cutscene.
post credits. Hey,
Yeah, he's about
He's
to
building,
fix up Space Jack Palance.
Is it Robocop?
There you go.
Space Jack Bounce.
Robocop.
It's a good one. That's a good one. Robert Rodriguez voiced. I'm not going to call it anything other than this. Okay, even if it's not his name. Mayor McCheese Mayor McCheese, the mayor, is voiced by Robert Rodriguez.
Hang on, Umba. Hold on a second.
Are you pulling out your Mary McCheese?
What is he doing? Oh, no.
For the audience, Kev's got a Mayor McCheese toy that he's very proud of.
It is my Funko Pop Mayor McCheese, and I just saw Officer Mac the other day at Newbury Comics, and I will be getting that as well.
Awesome.
Hang on, let me blow that up.
Blow it up, bro. How about a selfie of me and Mayor McCheese?
There you go. That's the thing for the
Nah,
show.
just put him back in front of your face.
Love it. There you go.
Anyway, that's my pride and joy. I love my kids, but I really love my Mayor McCheese. Anyway, I just read that thing that you sent us as I was getting ready for the show, and I just that blew me away. I was like, wait.
For realsies?
For real? That is total Mayor McCheese, man. Mock Chase. That's freaking great. Brilliant. Okay, so for me, this is a tender nugget, and that would be, or a tender nuggety Bob, it would be just the moment. There's a couple of really great moments between Mando and Grogu when they kind of reunite there in the final battle that were just tugging on my old heartstrings. Really liked it a lot.
When he's in the car and Mando's trying not to die, and he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing here?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was great. And then that night, there was a nice slow-mo of the cart crashing and Mando flying through the air, grabbing the child in midair and landing on his back. That was awesome.
And then Mr. Darius spitting teeth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you wanted to drop some Amy Sedaris there. This is a good opportunity for that. I found her funny. I didn't think it was over the top too bad.
I don't know. I don't have any problem with her. I think she's funny. I just didn't like the inclusion of the character in that much comic relief from when she appeared in Mando first was, I don't know. I was just like, it's kind of unnecessary, but whatever.
It's pretty funny that she dated a Jawa.
That was funny.
Now,
Did she date Java?
I'll throw a...
Yeah, she said that in the episode.
Yeah. Really
I
hairy.
suggest you do not look for any fan fiction.
Yeah, that's
He
gross.
has had Jawa juice.
Yeah, there you go. Hashtag Jawa juice.
Okay.
The
hashtag Jawa juice. There you go.
The Cobb Vanth versus Blue Dude shootout was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Lifted straight from A Million Westerns, but it was still awesome.
Oh, totally. Still great. And that long shot of Cad Bane walking.
Yeah, coming into town. Yeah. The Cab Vanth just catches a sniff of him on the wind kind of thing. He's like, I got a feeling something's going on out there.
Did you guys get the poster of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly I sent you?
Yeah.
With Mando.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Am I the only one that actually saw Tamara Morrison as a young Eli Wallach? It really looks like...
He does.
He does a little bit.
He does.
Yeah. And, Favreau and Filoni several times have said that character is modeled after Lee Van Cleef. It's the perfect face.
It's great.
Dude,
I just
me
wish
and
she was
Jerry
still
Higo
alive,
are
man.
all about Lee Van Cleef, man.
No doubt.
Oh, man, what a villain. What a villain. What
a cool guy with a cool name.
It's pretty sweet.
It's I would let that guy give me a watch with 24 hours to do something. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that is a really great poster, man. Why can't I download that?
I don't know if we have any nuggets now that we had the Nuggety Bob section.
Actually, I had another Bob, if that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a really good
boy.
one. I just can't help but notice that the Rancor, the design of his face and the position of his nose is pretty much exactly like a Vogon.
Oh, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at him and the way his nose goes, he's very Vogon.
Now I want to hear some Rancor poetry.
Right? Or it would have been great if at the end of that whole battle, he smashed the shit out of all those robots and all that crap, and then he just stopped and he said, Ben, if you would, please.
Well, I will rend thee with my gerbil crunch and see if I don't. I don't know. What did he say?
No, I was going to say, I would have been great if he had said, all right, everybody, that's 2 hours.
2 hours lunch. I think I'll have 2. No, he says, all right, everybody, that's 1 hour for lunch. I think I'll have 2 today.
Oh, dude, I love it. Vogue on Rancors.
Anyway,
I'm totally down.
Yeah, I like it. So that's my last. Bob.
I'm sure we're missing some here, but anyone got any nuggets? It sounds like you have some nuggets hidden away there, Umba.
I do, but I think I said enough.
You just dropped a lot of them.
Come
man.
on.
I know. I can't. I'm
Put
trying
the
to
nuggets
control myself.
down.
Don't control
the
yourself.
nuggets down.
Umba.
Talk.
Umba, go.
My nuggets, mine. Listen, I wanted to ask something. This is not gonna. Hopefully, it's not gonna make it in the show, but it's just a thing that's been haunting me, and I don't know why, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. Ben, bidi, stop it, do it.
Snap into
That's
it.
what I'm hearing. Snap into it.
Snap into it.
Fuck. Okay, what does it mean? What is it
The
from?
whole thing. All right.
Why
So
does it, I want to hear it from Ben. That's Ben's voice, right?
all right. Okay. Go ahead. Whatever. I was the one that put the whole thing together, but go ahead.
To be fair, Kev is the one that snapped those two things together.
Okay.
Because
Sorry,
I think
Kev.
they were both separate things from I don't know if they were from the same episode or from two different episodes.
They
But
were not.
Beady 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 is, have you ever seen the Buck Rogers TV show from the 80s?
I didn't.
Oh, dude.
Okay, well, there's
Twiggy, baby.
there's there's like a robot named Tweaky that is voiced by Mel Blanc, and in between everything he said, or before he says everything, he says beady 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 beady.
Okay.
So it's like beady 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 beady. What's up, Buck?
And that's, I'm taking notes, man. That's from Buck Rogers, right?
Okay, so that's beady beady beady, and snap into it is Macho Man Savage in.
Doing that
They
stupid
did
commercial.
he used to do commercials for Slim
Dude,
Jims.
I know. I'm a huge fan.
Slim Jims are?
Whenever I'm down, I just watch them.
Yeah. Well, you got your own special one with the Kate Capshaw one.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God damn it, man. We need to talk about this. I had to sit through an episode of Airborne, and you didn't fucking like Black Rain? Stop it, man. Please.
Oh my god.
Fair enough.
So pissed. I love
Fair
it. Dude.
enough.
No, I heard 2 episodes ago that you like to put the collar on your sport coat up, and I paired that with like
That's
rollerblades
it.
now.
That's it.
I was wearing my sport coat at work today with my collar up.
There you go.
Ding.
I love it.
It was a bad call. That was a bad call. You know, Ripley. These guys are some bad hombres.
They're tough hombres. You know, right. You a couple of shots down there, and then it's adios, muchachos.
Man, he's such a piece of shit. You guys are right. And what you don't know is that in the starter set of the role-playing game is one of the pre-generated characters. Who the fuck would want to play as that guy?
Right?
You can actually
I know,
play
seriously, man.
in the role-playing game.
I kind
as
of
that
want
dude.
to now, though.
Yeah.
He's a douchebag.
Just go around
He's like a massive
backstabbing.
douchebag.
Love it.
You can see his stats as well. Like he has
Yes.
coercion as one, like a special thing that you can do to people. Because he does in the film.
Right.
So
It's funny.
That's kind
funny.
of cool. That part is really cool, but I think it's funny too
fucking
that
awesome.
like he's the game piece like in the Monopoly set that nobody wants to
That's
play.
it.
He's like the shoe or whatever.
pretty much. But considering the fact that you make your own narrative, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be a real piece of shit to want to play that guy.
Deaths?
Deaths. Yeah, deaths. Oh, we got a lot of deaths. Some really good ones too. So we got I got Ben for a Rodriguez eject. And then I had I missed the RoboCop reference, which was brilliant. So I died from that. And then I had the Death of a Thousand Tears. Chad had the fetishized death, and then I had the unfettered death. And then Chad had a bro death, brand new death, the bro death. And then Amba had his first death with the Banta with his Bantha.
That was bad.
Which is fantastic, man. And he's laughing like a fool. I love it. And let's see, Chad had ejected on Cad Bane, and then Umba had the death stick. What? What's that? The death stick? That was a terrible death. Chad had the Tamura as a Red Sox guy death. Chad had the Garza Whip death. Then I had a bro triple death. Then I had a Focus Tiffany Matrix death, and Umba's rounded us out with a Nuggety Bob snipe death with Benny. Benny sniped him.
It's a lot of deaths.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's some good ones there too, man. Deaths are back, baby.
There you go.
The entire episode, isn't the entire episode like a mega death? Because it's Star Wars.
This, yeah, exactly.
You take a mortal man.
Put it in control.
You take a mortal man.
You think a mortal man. You put him in control.
I reckon that's a bitty control.
Ooh, that might have to go at the end of this one for sure.
Should do a whole episode just on fucking 80s, 90s thrash metal.
That's
We
it.
should, dude. It's begging to be done. All right, so ratings.
Kev gives it a Q.
So this one is a solid 10.
After I go, wait, what are we doing? Numbers or letters, bros?
I love it. Yeah, I enjoyed the show. I'll give it a B. A B-fer.
You're not using your algorithm for this.
Nah, it's algorithms movies only.
It's a B.
Yeah, it's a B.
It's a solid B. Is that what you just
I think
gave
it's
it?
a B, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a B.
What do you think, Umba? Lay it out. You look
I'm
pissed.
going last.
Oh, you're going to go last. Okay.
Umba thinks it's a whatever the like when you don't get a grade because it's so fucking bad. Your mom and dad need to come in and talk to the teacher.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's going to be like an F plus maybe. I'm going to go with a B plus. Really enjoyed it. Don't think it's A material, but there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a B.
There you go.
And you know when you put all of our B's together, you know what that says? Beady.
Beady, beady, beady. I'm going to give it a beady, 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 beady.
Beady.
Look, I would have to put all 7 episodes together and average them. So,
Wow.
I have a chart.
This is the Umba rhythm
You
then.
work off. No, it isn't. No, the algorithm is applied exclusively to board games. It's a B minus for me, which is very generous.
That is generous.
Very generous.
I thought you'd be a C at the best.
I know that you brought me here as a ball of rage, but I'm not that guy. I'm not. I was getting nervous actually because I why say something negative about something you don't like or review it at all? I think the second viewing helped, and I took it down to the pandemic. That disjointed nature of this thing. It would be so difficult to put something together throughout this time. I know that because 2 dudes, myself and Chimichanga, had to stop a YouTube channel for 3 months. So if it's difficult for us, imagine such a production with so many people involved.
It's fair.
My sympathy goes to them.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I like
think,
it.
Yeah, I'll add that I should have added this before, but like that, I think the editing kind of disjointed the story. I think that the Mando Luke stuff was awesome, but just should have been put in a Mando episode. And then that was really what kind of and the lack of that Boba Fett rough edge that we saw in Mando, like I think those are the things that really kind of brought it down. I feel like he kind of got the rough edge back at the very end, like in the final battle that around that time, but that's what brought the score down for me.
I think B's fair. Averages out at a good solid B.
There you go.
Well, dank Ferrick to that.
What'd you say?
Wait, what?
Dank Ferrick. That's been dropped for the 3rd time by Mando in the show, which is his holy shit or holy fuck.
Oh,
It's
right.
Dank
right.
Ferrick. Yeah,
Dude, that
Dank
was
Ferrick.
so nerdy. I love
Oh
it.
yeah, I
was
missed
great.
that. That's great.
Yeah, I missed that too, man.
That's a triple nerd death for us.
Yeah, triple nerd death. I'm gonna write that down.
We can't start using it in public. I don't want to die alone. I don't. I think that's what's going to happen if we start talking like that. I don't want to do that. Dank Ferrick.
It's better than the use of frack in BSG.
Agree.
It's pretty clever at the time, but
I grabbed Thar's hammer.
By
I grab Thaw's hammer.
water savings.
Oh, I love that guy.
This was an awesome episode. I was so psyched you came on the show, dude.
Yeah,
I
man.
am so glad that you guys had me on. You have no idea how much I enjoyed it. And
good.
I'm sorry that I just kept raving on. But
Dude,
yeah,
don't
you
be
guys,
sorry,
you guys kept
man.
me. Listen, I don't know if this goes in the show or not, but I got to tell you something. I did say this is a parasocial relationship. I have plenty of friends. I have plenty of love in my life, but I do ride around the city when I see clients and stuff. And throughout the pandemic, when I went back to work, you guys kept me a lot of company.
It's awesome.
So you made it easier. You did.
Love it.
So thank
Awesome,
you.
man.
Dude, we've heard that from a lot of people, and we really appreciate that, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be your podcast friends anytime, dude.
Hell yeah.
But likewise, just keep shouting each other out.
That's it.
That's fine.
That's it. Speaking of which, where can we find you? What's your YouTube channel's URL?
It's Tales. Yeah, well, absolutely. It's myself and Chimichanga Eitan run a board game review channel on YouTube, and it's called Tales from the Table. If you like board games, inspired by movies, many of the movies that I mentioned on the show as well, check us out. And I think we may be doing The Thing next month. So,
Oh, awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we'll link it up in the show notes, so feel free to check that out. It's a great channel.
thank
Just
you.
getting off the
Thank you.
ground, but will be very successful, I reckon.
Yeah, Benny, it's not all Warhammer, okay? It isn't.
I love it. I love it. Somebody coming to the defense of the Warhammer folk.
That's it, dude.
It's all good.
Warhamper, my favorite.
Got
It's
it,
all
man.
right.
Warhammer with the pauldrons of laundry.
This is making it so much worse. It's making it so much worse.
Good
Well, thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you.
Chad, what are we doing next week?
Next week, we're doing Ex Machina.
Oh, I thought you were going to say X-Men, the new lame X-Men movie that we
Doing the
never
new
watched.
lame X-Men movie with Sansa Stark.
There you go. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Good times, man. Big round of applause for Umba, original Turbo fan of the show and host of Tales from the Table. Please check out his channel. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Hope you enjoyed it. We sure as shit did. And we'll see you next week for Ex Machina, not the new lame X-Men movie. So long for now, folks.
See ya.
Later.
See you later. Ciao.
There you go.
Ciao.
Perfect. And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. You can find the show notes for this episode in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/146. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/EBD podcast. Oh my God. You can also tell a friend to check out the show. That's super powerful. And you can rate us and review us on iTunes. A lot of people have asked us in the past, like, how do we help you guys out? You know, whatever. If every single one of you that listens to this show went on Apple or whatever, iTunes, and wrote us a review, that would be insane. And that would really help the show out a lot. So ponder that while you're going through your daily day. In addition to that, you can follow us on social media. We use the handle at EBD Podcasts everywhere, and join in on the conversation. We spend a lot of time on Instagram, and we'd love to have you. So please, folks, join us. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Boba Fett, and we'll see you next week for Ex Machina. So long for now, folks.
One for C-Lab, two for Troy, three for Wolverine to round out the trio in this episode. Everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady.
You think I'm mortal man?
Dum de dum dum de dum 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 dum.
Dum da dum 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 dum.
What is that? The fat thing?